Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40 something non binary boy Mark J coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apoc Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. Apoc U wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplaner RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplaner RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the APOC Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your character's memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tinder Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Apoc Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. A big shout out to this year's sponsors, Transplanter RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thoughtless Crime Games. We're gonna do cast introductions, starting off with Wally. Please give us your character's name, pronouns, and title.
Yeah, sup, y'all? It's me, Wally, your non-binary sign best friend on the internet. Today, I am playing Sin. Their pronouns are he, him. They don't have a title. I didn't think of a title.
Okay, I think I was going over your notes, and your title was something like "The Trouble," if I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
correctly.
Oh, yes.
Yes, awesome. Um, Moving on over on my screen, I can see Lex. Tell us about your character's name, pronouns, and title.
Hi, I'll be playing Red Star. Pronouns of pronouns are they he. Alternate pronouns are yeehaw. They are a drifter, and their title is a variant of the cowboy, the vaquere.
Get it? I love it. It's a gender neutral version of vaquero, basically. And last but certainly not least we have Ruiz. Tell us your character's name, pronouns, and title.
Reese, they, them. I'm playing Lourdes, she, her, the recluse.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So just before we get started, we're gonna read out the content warnings. So today's session may include themes of colonialism, references to exploitative labor, implied forced relocation, firearms as weaponry, violence, poverty, substance abuse, gambling, mental illness and associated trauma, and death. And with that, we can begin with our game. So, a backwater system situated around a dying sun, the Sutler system is an isolated pocket of space where fledgling crews can expect to come up against smugglers, petty crime, and cutthroat mobsters. It is a poorly policed system of dying industry, and perfect for beginning larger adventures with interstellar outlaw crews. One such crew find themselves in a smoky dive bar, lights low, and the hum of clientele occasionally broken by outbursts of laughter. The jukebox garbles static before a sturdy book kicks it in the side, and a slow jazz begins to fill the space. Followed by a 2-minute advert by Sunlink Unlimited, advertising the upcoming luxury apartments being built on the planet known as Georgia Delta 3. In the corner of this fine establishment, dimly lit by a flickering incandescent lamp, sit our 3 outlaws. Who can tell me who was the first to arrive at this bar?
Lourdes is the only one of these 3 that are ever on time for anything.
That is correct.
Yeah, I see that.
And how do you enter this bar? What does it look like? Describe your character as they sort of step in.
Yeah, she's strides in about average height, a bit on the heavier side, sort of like olive toned skin, long black hair, braided all the way down to her back. She walks in. She's wearing very dusty, very well worn traveling clothes. Heavy poncho that might be hiding some things. Don't worry about it. Walks in, spots an empty table that'll fit all her people somewhere near the back because she doesn't like the other 2 in crowds, and just immediately slams down a heavy bag on top of it, dominates the table, and takes a seat facing
Lands with
the door.
a heavy thud on the table. And who do you guys think would come in next? That's my question.
I guess it's a toss-up, really, because there's a chance that Rhett comes in like more than fashionably late, and there's a chance that Rhett shows up shortly after in a bit of a tizzy because I'm late.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, Wally, you're probably coming in.
Yeah.
Next. Yeah.
I think what happens is as soon as Ledger sits down at that table in the back, there is a crash as someone gets thrown through a window into the bar, and they slam into a table, like completely, like crashing through the table completely. And then you see walking into the bar, you see this pretty tall individual, very, very athletically built, like athletically built, not like big, but just built like an Olympic athlete kind of build. They have very dark skin. They're wearing a long black duster coat. On there, they have tight cornrows tied. They look pretty freshly done braided cornrows. And on his face, you see a little bit of a hint of like a neck tattoo that starts at his chin, like starts in his lower jaw, and it goes all the way down like the right side of his neck. And in the center of that neck tattoo, you see a very interesting symbol, what looks kind of like a snake biting its own tail. And that is like kind of like the center of this neck tattoo, and there are a bunch of other unique designs that like kind of sprawl out from this tattoo. It looks like it covers a good half of his like right side of his body. But you see some of these tattoos like on his right, on the back of his right hand and everything, but his left hand is completely chrome metal. As he walks into the bar and looks around, he grabs the guy that that was thrown in through the window, picks them up and sets them in a chair and leans down looking at the guy and says, listen, the next time you use my name next time you put my name in your mouth, be sure you follow it up with a compliment next time. Got it? And he like gives him like a big old pat on the shoulders, like is trying to like express the point of like, don't fuck with him, as he just goes to sit at the bar and get a drink.
There's an audible sort of pause in the conversation as this happens, as people turn, hearing like the sound of the crash and the body coming through, and then you sort of sauntering in, and then just sort of placing this guy down in the seat. They kind of watch for a few more moments to see what else happens, but I assuming you're just gonna go down and take your seat.
Yeah, he
They
takes.
kind of all just kind of like turn back to like the conversations that they were having. No one really cares. Basically, what was going on just there.
Oh, the cops already know we're here?
They already know it.
They're onto us. We haven't even planned the heist.
There's a pause where everyone's like, huh, and then it just passes. And then finally, not long after the murmur sort of dies back to regular levels, we have our third member of the gang sauntering in. Describe it, please.
I think now, shortly after this display and all that, you hear, well, damn, Sin, how's anybody supposed to make an entrance after that? And in walks in the scrawniest, like all arms and legs, short, not particularly intimidating little shit. Broken nose, probably 2 or 3 times at this point, but it's hard to tell when it's clearly been broken. Little notches out of their ears, whether that's from bullets or wild animals, who knows. Freckled face, kind of palish skin, ethnically confusing. We'll call it that. Ethnically confusing. Their dark hair pulled back in a teeny tiny little braid, no longer than their shoulders, and wearing a kind of plaid top, fancy, they're wearing a bolo, tie, not, this, but still as much jewelry, as much drip. One earring, all turquoise, all silver, and a big silver belt buckle for a rodeo that doesn't run anymore.
Hell yeah.
Coming in, boots, clacking on the wood, spurs just kind of jingling. And it's like, why you got spurs? Nobody rides fucking animals anymore. But they're there, they're sharp.
It's at this point, it's more about the vibes. It's about the fashion statement. It's about the message rather than, yes, I ride an animal kind of thing. And you all convene at your table. Is there anything you say to each other? It's been a long time since you've seen these faces. Aside from the person who has called you here, who has not yet arrived.
Lourdes being the oldest of the three, she's in her like mid-50s at this point. It's been a while since she's been, spacefaring, doing heists and stuff. She's hears Rhett enter before seeing them, recognizing those damn spurs she kept telling them was scuffing the ship. Didn't listen.
It's my ship. I could scuff it if I wanna.
I look over to the two of them talking at the bar and go, and she whistles very sharply, very familiar to two. He's like, "Oye, cabrons, ven acá."
Sin looks back at that, then looks over at Rhett. The only reason you make flashy entrances is because everything you do is flashy. You walk and you make noise. And he will get up and head over to the table.
Why you say it like it's a bad thing?
Because it is a bad thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing.
Settling down, just flops in a chair.
It's not long before someone comes over to your table with a really sort of like battered looking tablet, like somewhere between a tablet and a mobile phone type thing. And she's like, all right, what can I get you?
Just give me a chili rice.
Chili rice? We're out of chili.
What do you mean you fuck, all right. Just give me some fried rice.
Fried rice I can do. Anyone else? Drinks?
Y'all got
Whiskey
horchata?
neat.
Whiskey? Anything else?
Y'all got horchata or something sweet?
Get food, Rhett. When was the last
Something
time
real.
you ate?
Yeah, you can't just live on sweet stuff all day. Oh yeah, just give me 2 pineapple jarritos, please. Thanks.
Oh!
His face
Three
like
jarritos.
Okay, Jarritos coming up. Zooms away. And eventually, time passes, and enough time passes where you start to get kind of like, when is this person gonna like show up? You know, it's getting on a little bit, but eventually, you do hear an odd sort of uneven thudding approaching the doors of this bar. Eventually, the door does open, and you see in walks this large individual with leaning on like quite a big metal stick with sort of like ringlets that have been tied back into a ponytail, slight bit of like facial hair, just a little bit, and a big sort of like dusty trench coat. Kind of walks in, looks around, and then sees the three of you, and then kind of walks over with like big stomping boots and the metal stick that she's coming with, and then kind of like stops before like sitting down on the table. And she's just like, sorry, I'm late. Sits down. The auto taxi dropped me off at the back, and I had to fucking walk here from there because these things, you know what they're like.
That's why they should have real people pounding the damn things, but no, gotta let a computer do it.
It's cheaper to let the computer do it,
I don't
apparently.
care. It's cheaper, it's stupid.
Stupid, I agree.
Sin looks at this person, and you see like their eyebrows like knit, like they're looking kind of upset seeing this person right now. You got a lot of nerve showing up here.
She looks at you and then kind of like looks at like the glass that's still littering the floor from the person that you kind of threw through the window, and she's like, listen, I know we've all moved on for our own reasons. Times have changed and all that, but I know the way that we left off wasn't the best. Things happened 15 years ago, okay? There's something that I want to do, but I can't. And she kind of like stomps the stick and then like gestures to her leg. Can't move the same as I used to. I'm older. I can't go as far. Can't really talk to anyone about it. But you guys. And I know we said we weren't going to do anything like this again. But hear me out. Right?
I mean, if you can't do this by yourself, it sounds like a skill issue. So maybe you should leave, get back, and get good and get right.
Okay.
I'm listening though. You know I'm good for it.
All right. And she kind of like just sort of just turns to you a little bit. Like, you're going to listen. Okay.
What are we knocking over today?
Listen, my hometown over on Georgia Alpha 3, my Theo and his kids, they still live there. And they're saying that the Tomaton Corporation have been trying to buy their land for years, We thought they'd leave us alone, but look. And she tosses this cracked tablet onto your screen, which has this kind of aerial sort of Google Maps type view of like the land. And you see like what would be the haciendas in these nice sort of like little areas that have been sort of, all settled together. And then there's just this big, ugly gray block that's like parked next to it, with some like flat land next to it in a sort of deserty environment. And she says, they built this horrible office and put up this billboard about this new job town that they're going to build there. We never gave them permission for that, but they've got security guards like wandering around the place, and they're just treating us like shit. And there's like this dark look that kind of crosses over her face. After everything that they've taken from us, I can't let them take this too. They'll tear up our land and force our families out. So that's why I'm here. I need your help for
Force out, they're gonna
one
force
last
it.
job. What do you guys say?
What was the name of the company again?
Tomaton. So like tomaton, like automaton, but without the A.
I look at the other two. I heard of these people. They tried to put one of those experimental dome cities on that ocean planet, selling us to. Half of it's oil now.
Yeah. Population's half of what it was. And it's not getting any better. I don't want that to happen to my family. And if they're going for my land, they'll come for your ranch as well. Eventually.
Yeah, they
No, they will.
probably will.
And that she does kind of like look at you when she says that when you speak up.
Probably.
I know it's a big ask, but whatever you find in that office, you can keep. And she pulls out her own bag and sets it down on the table, and kind of pushes it into the middle. This is what you guys need. You guys will need to sort them out. Do you look in the bag?
Yeah. I sure do. The entire time this discussion has been going on, Rhett has steadily been turning colors deeper and deeper red to the point where you practically can no longer see their freckles because they hate Tomaton. This is a known quantity. They hate Tomaton and all of their subsidy companies.
That's great, because that means we can make our first roll
Ooh.
today. And it's extra exciting because it's one of the features of Orbital Blues, where I ask you to make a blues check for me. So when you roll your blues check, you roll 2d6 plus your grit stat, and your target is 8.
No, that is 3.
A 3.
That is
So
3
you gain
ones on the dice.
Oh, you gain 1 blues. And with that, can you tell me a memory of yours that was related to Tomaton and maybe why you hate them so much?
Tomaton wasn't always called Tomaton. That's their rebrand, the fancy, glitzy, oh, we're a luxury company now. They started as a mining company. Something with somebody's name attached to it. Something like, I don't even know, not Remington, but like that level of like just generic, boring last name.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a mining company. They started off as wildcat miners, and okay, you got to make a living. And there's millions upon billions of asteroids. But then they started moving to moons, and they brought their company, jobbers with them. They brought their security, and they started moving into terraforming planets. Well, terraforming moons, because harder to terraform a large planet.
Mm-hmm.
So Around Otra Vega, there are a lot of asteroids and a lot of moons. One of those moons is Reno 12. Reno 12 is really a dust bowl of a planet, moon, whatever you want to call it, and has been pretty much since the beginning. Except they terraformed it to do farm work, put in all sort of money to make it viable. People worked that land hard, brought them in with promises of, hey, you get to keep this. This is your home. This is your land. Never mind whoever lived there first. Never mind all of the other animals that didn't really do well in the farming monoculture style. It became wheat and cattle and all these things that are so lucrative when you have nothing. At least for the people of Reno 12. And now Rhett never really did get on with their family. There's a lot they don't see eye to eye on, but when that last big dust storm hit and the company that set up that entire moon as a job town did nothing, Rhett decided then and there, hated them forever. Forever.
And that sort of those last sort of memories of your dusty moon home sort of flash in your mind as this person who I forgot to tell you the name of, but the name is Elaine. So Alain, Elaine Locke, Lock. She describes the worries that she has about basically the same thing that happened to you. That memory flashes, and you're turning all these colors, as you said before. And I think she's gonna make a quick little observation check. Yeah, and she does sort of look over you and notice, and she just and nods at you, Rhett, like, and they're coming for us next. You know. So, like I said, if you're looking in that bag, that's what you need.
Sin will look in the bag also. So what exactly you want us to do? Like smash and grab or something, intimidate someone, break someone's legs, make someone disappear? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter two.
Well, when you look in the bag and you kind of peek in there, you see two things. You see this kind of bundle of like wires and like material sort of bound together quite tightly. And then next to it, you see this kind of control looking device with a big antenna sticking, well, not sticking out of it because it's kind of retracted at the moment, but with like a big sort of detonator button, if you will. It has a case closed over the button so it can't get like accidentally pressed. But as you're asking, like, what do you want us to do, as you look into the bag, she kind of gestures at the bag and she's just like, well, you know, you can sort of just like take a look around the office,
You know
gather whatever you need, because they might have stuff that's useful, like metal, wood, wires, copper. Take what you need and get rid of the rest. That should that there in that bag should do the trick. Just make sure you keep your distance when you press the button.
He slides all that stuff over to Lourdes because they're the smarter one of the two between them. So he slides that over to her. Like, all right, you can handle that part.
She grabs the bag, looks inside, and based on her time in prison, she can identify hot goods really easily. There's still a little bit of shavings at the bottom from when she very clearly filed the serial number off.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Where'd you steal this firepower from?"
Well, it's not just you guys that I got in contact with recently. And there's like a little twinkle in her eye, and just like a little bit of a smirk. But she's like, if you wanted to know more, I'd be hiring you and paying you and all that stuff, but no.
Oh, you're already hiring me. You had me at Tomaton. So
That's
spell.
right. Spill.
Whose work am I working with? Am I expected to set it up myself, put it together? Is it a pre-made, pre-built?
Well, basically, let's just say that I know a guy. Mary was her name. We used to work together back when we were just starting out, working in a factory. Back when they were called Remington or whatever it was before they became Tomaton. That Mary, she knew how to wire things together, and she knew where to source stuff. So basically, got in touch with her, said that if we found anything interesting at this place, that we would take it over to her. So provided the goods.
So
That okay?
hiring. Are you the client?
I guess technically yes.
Because if we're doing this to steal data for somebody else or steal plans and some corpo's hands, I'm not doing it.
Oh no! It's not gonna land in any corpo's hands. This is literally just like go in, grab anything that seems interesting to you guys, get rid of the rest, and that'll hopefully send a message for these guys to not fuck with us.
Can I make a check to make sure this is just revenge? Because if it's revenge, fully on board.
Yeah. Why don't you roll savvy for me? So that's your 2d6. Unless you have a gambit to do with this kind of thing. But otherwise, 2d6.
Not great. That's 6.
With a 6, like the way that you look at her, like she seems pretty serious that this is like genuinely like revenge.
Okay.
When the bottles of Haritos arrive, Sin grabs one of the bottles and does like a knife chop against the bottleneck, and it like completely, like his hand goes right through it, slicing the top complete off, like a sword just cut right through it, and he drinks from it. So it looks like to me you had problems that you wanted to fix, and you were hired to fix those problems, and nobody wanted to work with you, so you decide to look out for your old team that will work with you. Well, no, thinks they will work with you. I mean, you have them swayed to your side. I mean, yeah, I'm pissed off at these guys, but I'm pissed off at a lot of people. And well, I'm kind of iffy, just like Lourdes said. I don't trust that stuff, and I don't trust you that much. So why should I believe you that this is all in the up and up?
I don't know how else I could tell you that, like, and she kind of like sort of leans forward, puts elbows on the table. I'm getting old. My days are numbered. And I'm just looking for ways I can make things right where I can. You don't have to believe me, but that's just what I'm trying to do.
What he does next is he like leans down, he like leans his elbow onto the table and like gets right up in her face and is pretty much like eyeing her down, like pretty much figuring out if she really is on the up and up here. Like gives her a good long look for a while, and then leans back in the chair. All right, I'm only doing it because these two want to do this, and these two can't do anything without me.
Sure.
And he'll take the second bottle, open it up the same way, and slide it over to you.
She takes it. She's like, "It's the best I can ask for." Takes like a big drink, puts it down, and she's like, "Nothing like a bit of age to remind you about how short life really is. I mean, I guess I'm kind of the lucky one that I'm allowed to get old in the first place. But anyway, that's just me rambling like an old woman, like I usually do now."
Yeah, you're old as fuck.
Quit talking about how old you are. We're the same damn age.
And yeah, she doesn't even look that old. She has
Like shit.
she has like a few streaks of gray and like that sort of pulled black ringlets, but she's not like absurdly old. But there is this tiredness about her that does seem that it's difficult to hide. But she's not that old. Yeah.
When the drinks do come, Lourdes just had like she had one hand up to inspect the bag, but she takes the other hand out from under the table, which is holding her trank pistol, and she sets it down, takes a drink. It's still pointed in Elaine's direction, but says, "Gotta make sure Rhett doesn't die of scurvy or gangrene or whatever."
Either of those things.
Actually, we got a
You've
bet between
definitely had both of those things before.
I have not.
Because
Scurvy I've never had. I've never had scurvy. I know what a citrus fruit is.
Yeah,
I gangrene, I don't know it.
yeah, I don't know. I remember that. I remember how much you were puking and how much I had to clean up the ship after that. That was kind of nasty.
I still have you, dying from stepping on a Gila monster.
Yeah.
Die from a Gila monster. You deserved it. Those fucks are the laziest son bitches you are ever gonna see.
Yeah, and that's why I have bets on you dying from a Gila monster.
No, if I step on him, he's not gonna do shit. He's gonna look at me like, "Why'd you do that? Get off me!"
no, these were those fast gen modified fuckers
Oh fuck!
from Zaragoza, remember?
Oh hell no! I see those things, I go running the other way.
They took a pound off of Sin, literally a pound. I measured it.
No, yeah, it took a whole lot from me, and he puts on like he slaps like that metallic hand onto the table. That's how I lost this. Gila monster bit it right off.
Why people gotta be making things and other things against creation?
Lane's kind of like leaning back a little bit with the ball, and she was like, "Oh, I don't think I was there for that one, but pretty cool." Takes a sip of the drink. Anyway, puts the bottle down. I gotta get going, but we'll be in touch. And she gets up, kind of pushes herself up on that metal stick again, and does like a "see you later." Makes her way out of the bar.
When you get a chance, as she's getting to leave, let me take a look at that leg. Whoever installed it did a shit job.
If it was anyone else, I would say sure, but not you. And continues leaving the door.
So listen, fuck you. I did a great job on his arm.
A fantastic job. Still works just as good.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about while you're in this bar?
Sin like leans back in this chair, and he's like kind of thinking about what this company has done to him, what Tomaton has done to him. And he's remembering back when he was on his home moon, his home moon was near this large gas giant. Like the gas giant was totally inhabitable because it produced a very high gravity that nothing could survive there, no matter what. You get crushed under the density. But he lived on one of the moons from it, and the moon was pretty much like also a high gravity planet, well, planetoid. And the people who lived there were pretty much just enjoying living their life, but it was very rough there. It was a very, I would say, like the planet was very like sprawling urban areas that was built there by the people who lived on that planet, because it allowed for so many people who lived on the planet to live in like taller buildings. So it just made more sense. He was part of a gang called the Ouroboros. And he pretty much was part of this gang, and they would pretty much patrol this one area of this planetoid where, you know, keeping the law. Like there was a very kind of like a cold war between every single one of these gangs on this planet. Like there was no police, there was no forms of like law on that planet. It was pretty much as you stayed with like this one gang, and that was how you got your protection, and they kept the peace between each other. There was like a very like a tense like silence of peace between them, but fights would always break out for no apparent reason or for really petty reasons. But one day Tomaton came to the planet. Like they finally were able to create automatons that could handle the gravity of that planet, and they came in and they took out his gang because they made deals with the other gangs on that planet where they took his gang out, and one after all the other gangs after that fell under Tomaton, and they took over the planet completely. And that's why he left, and that's why he has that tattoo on his neck to kind of remind himself of what Tomaton took from him.
Amazing. And you sort of reminisce about these memories as you all sort of like start to clear up your bar. The bill is brought and set down in front of you. Who's paying?
Red starts patting down every pocket on their person.
Oh, don't even fake it. I take out a little data card.
I got enough for this. Don't you do this.
Sin is already standing up trying to walk away. Like he's in mid-process. As soon as he said that, he's like stood up like, you got this, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I got it. I literally got it. Give me 1 second.
The server is just like this kind of like sort of thin younger man with like short sort of cropped hair, and also holding one of those like standard like tablet-y ordering things, just kind of like standing there looking kind of bored, very underpaid, watching you guys trying to decide who is covering this.
Finally, Rhett fishes out from like hidden pocket in boot. There, I got it.
It kind of like watches you take it from the book and like sort of presents like the payment thing for you to be like, okay dokie, like scan it.
It definitely scans, and for once it actually goes through. He was not bluffing.
Okay. Kind of like
goes through. Sin gives Lorges $5.
Like,
he made a bet like, will Red be able to cover something? Or
it's been 15 years, and I'm legitimate now.
Legit.
Legitimate.
Doing what?
That's
you gotta answer if it's legitimate. You can't lie if it's not legitimate.
It's legitimate. I just don't want to talk about it.
See, there you go. There you go. He can't. It's obviously not legitimate if he's gonna lie about it.
It's not a lie. I just don't want to talk about it.
Looking up at Sin, because just being like, how bad do you think it is?
They probably dress up as a clown somewhere.
I do. Oh.
I would respect that if this isn't. Wait, Rhett. It ain't government work, is it?
How?
Okay. No, I'm sorry. That's but I had to check.
Well, if it ain't government work, then you're not dressed as a clown. So you're probably dressed in like some kind of I don't know, like eyes him up and down for a bit. I'm guessing you're dressed up as some kind of rabbit.
The one suit, the only suit I have, and it is for funerals, and you know this.
Animal mascot.
Let's just see it.
No!
Awesome. Eventually, you guys make it out of the bar, and Rhett, I'm assuming you lead these guys towards where your ship is. Where would your ship be parked? In a sort of like transitional port type location.
So on the one hand, it is docked legally. We don't have to like strap mag boots, put on our rebreathers, and walk the exterior. But it is definitely one of the cheaper docking situations, which is fair because this is a small vessel. This is not, a big freighter. This is not, a heavy tug. It's a small, relatively light, almost star or comet shaped in some aspects. Vessel that kind of folds up. Like it almost looks like a bird's wings folded up when it's just perched somewhere.
That's pretty cool.
Which is extra funny because its name is the Catfish.
Yes, the Catfish. And it's also like squeezed in between like some other like small vehicles as well because it's kind of cheap. You don't have much room. No. You kind of have to like needle your way out.
I feel like it's the biggest one on this small vessel dock, but it's also very clearly a small vessel dock.
Yeah, exactly.
A person can still walk it and be like elbow to elbow with somebody, whereas the large vessel docks, you've got like teams of 12 able to just, lockstep across it.
Exactly.
Sin walks up to the ship and like looks up at it, puts his hand of it. Oh, my poor baby. Is he treating you right?
Baby, your baby.
Yes, my baby. The only reason you have it, is because you won rock, paper, scissors.
The allegations, the accusations.
And you cheated at rock, paper, scissors. You said you were going to throw a rock. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he's going to throw a rock, but you didn't.
And I told you he never does that.
I was thinking maybe this one time it would probably happen, but it was obviously a lie.
I only humored it because I didn't want to get punched. It's my vessel. I earned it fair and square. The rock, paper, scissors was to just not get punched.
You know what? That's fair. I wouldn't want to get punched by me either.
I mean, I saw what you did to that bottle.
Yeah. I can do it to a lot of people.
I know, I've seen it.
You should see what he does to the pigs.
I do not want to ever see that, actually.
You board your ship, Catfish, and why don't you... You're bad because I've only asked you to roll, but I'm going to ask you to roll again.
You've asked two people to roll.
I want you to roll. I'm just trying to find thing for the ships. There we go. I just want you to roll to like navigate your ship out of this parking space like without bumping anyone else, basically.
Got it. I am home and I'm ready to roll. We got a job. All right, and I have to aim for what? Sorry?
You have to aim for 8.
8, okay. And I get to roll savvy for this. And it's just your stat plus the roll?
Yes.
Okay. So that is that's a 7, which is unfortunate. Probably slightly clipped something on the
on a 7, you like there's like a little bit of a scrape with the vehicle to the right of you. The owner is not present, thankfully. But there is a scuff mark that's there, and the scuff is also on your ship as well. A bit of the paint has just kind of like been scratched off a little bit, and just sort of like trundle backwards. The wings sort of like unfold as you get more space and you move out of this sort of parking area, and then take off. Basically,
I feel like it looks like an albatross trundling down across the beach, and then it actually adopts its true kind of star-like shape, and then zoom.
zoom into the hyperspace.
Looking around, like once we're inside, just like the different like marks and like wear and tear that just like happens naturally. It's like, oh, that's where Sid like punched the head off of someone trying to board us. That's where Rhett threw out that one time he definitely got scurvy. Because I told him he had to eat something other than Twinkies. And then like, oh yeah, once we like get up in the air, it's just sort of like unclip from the seats, and it's like safe to like move around. Goes back to the little kitchenette area, which was also their med bay, because this is a tiny ship and we were dead broke. So this table is where we ate our meals, and we're also pulling, slugs and repairing plasma burns on people.
Mm-hmm. Like doctor, surgeon, cook, same skills, right? Like, might as well have the same room for it. It's all meat. Exactly.
Yeah. Butcher. It's fine.
Right, as you settle into your pilot seat, the console in front of you, this kind of like small door sort of like opens up, and this little orb pops up in front of you. This little metallic sort of sphere with like plates welded to it, and a little screen with like just little LED screen with like big sort of like animated eyes, and occasionally a little mouth, but not always. And it pops up, and it's just like, "Where are we going today, Captain?" And then kind of like turns, and is like, "Oh, it's you guys." And then turns back to Red.
You rude little shit.
Oh, look at you, little son of a bitch.
Do not call Guppy that.
Yes.
Do not know Guppy's parentage, and that is very rude.
I'm sorry. Look here, you little bastard.
Still rude.
Why are you bringing these guys on the ship again?
We got a job, and it will definitely pay better than what we are doing presently. So,
which is,
don't worry about it.
Hey Guppy, what kind of work y'all been doing since we've been gone?
For clarity's sake, I think it's something like being an auto taxi replacement for very difficult regions to get into. The equivalent of like the Alaskan bush pilots. Like, they'll get you in and out of anywhere you want to go, but it's not glamorous work.
It's space Uber.
Do not tell them that.
Basically space Uber.
You're a chauffeur?
I am not a chauffeur.
Where's your hat? You got a little hat?
Do you have a little hat? Oh my god, is there a uniform?
I have owned since the day I left home. No, there ain't no uniform. I literally get paid to take people to dangerous places, and sometimes take them back out.
I bet there is a blazer. I bet he has to wear shiny shoes.
I do not have to wear no blazer. I get to wear my same boots. It's my ship. I get to drive it how I want.
Okay, yeah. It's great that you're doing legitimate work that allows you to explore the stars still.
Yeah, you had a little side hustle. Good for you.
Yeah,
get to be your own boss, make your own hours.
I feel like it actually does trigger one of my blues. Too big for your boots. I gain blues when I fail to prove my superiority an Uber driver in space. Because his superiority thing is, I am the best pilot in any system.
Mhm.
I can get in and out of anywhere faster than anybody. Yeah, you might end up with a couple scrapes, but we'll get there in one piece.
Mhm.
God,
You
there's
wanna
something
make a
so
blues
real.
bowl for me.
There's something so real about like you're interacting with old friends, and within like 15 minutes, it triggers a deep sadness within you.
And it's not even because you don't like these friends. It's just damn, like
Yeah.
we literally drifted apart, and now we're back together, and I live like this. Although,
Oh.
for Lourdes' sake, the kitchen is actually fully stocked, which is not how it was when we stopped being a crew together. Like it seems.
Yeah, we just kept
Rex
stealing
learned how to
unmarked
cook.
cans.
Like this is probably the
surprise
first, like the most produce a Red has ever had in the kitchen in their entire life.
Yep.
Holy
Now,
shit, there's
to be fair-
vitamins. There's like nutrients and shit.
To be fair, a lot of it is space travel ready, so it is, freaking freeze dried and/or
Yes, shelf stable stuff, but still,
Add
like,
hot water.
add hot
Yeah.
water and go. But once you've added the hot water to the ingredients, sometimes you still got to do something with it.
it's like, just like looking at all this food and like shouting because it's like I imagine it's not that big.
Yeah.
There's, like,
so
one
looking at all
big
this food,
pan.
it's like
That it's dented all the crap because somebody has absolutely used it as a weapon before. We're not naming names.
mhm.
It was me.
Is this rust or blood? Who knows? It's definitely blood.
On
Yeah,
the
looking at-
outside and the inside is burnt doll shit because Red
Soy sauce.
had some struggling learning how to cook.
Oh my god.
Yeah, all this food and you're still built like that, huh?
We
What's the
can't
genetic?
all be built like a goddamn truck. Gesture.
From behind you hear Puppy go like beep beep, lie detected. And you know that that Guppy does not have the
That's
the
not a
machinery
technology.
capability to do any lie detection or whatsoever. They're just winding you up.
What does that even mean? Clearly, not everybody can be built like a truck. Lourdes is not built like a truck. You are not built like a truck. You're built like you in this little tiny ball orb shape, just kind of jostling the little form. And you in the big ship shape.
Yes, I am.
And
No
now,
lie detected there.
Rhett is never going to call this vessel a small vessel. He's never going to call it a little ship. He's always going to say big ship shape because otherwise Guppy's feelings get hurt.
Okay.
One time we kept going on about like rank classes of vessels,
The
and
actual
Guppy and Guppy turned on autopilot and directed us into the nearest sun.
a whole lot of screaming.
And I'll do it
Yeah,
again.
Like we called Guppy a small freighter once, and they cut off all life support for 5 seconds.
And in Guppy's defense, like I say in Guppy's defense, Rhett was 100% like on board with that this is definitely not a small freighter. A small freighter is this shape, it is this class, this is not a small freighter. Wasting the air we had
Yes.
argue about the fact that Guppy is not a small freighter.
I think that Guppy was originally part of some kind of like really powerful military vessel, so that's why it has this sense of like I am bigger than I should be.
Oh my gosh, Guppy was originally part of some experimental Voltron style unit.
yeah. We stole this from like a dreadnought. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this was like the core fighter of the dreadnought, and we took this thing and ran away with it. So the dreadnought is somewhere like drifting out in space with no power cord in it because we have it with us.
Yeah. And occasionally Guppy will just go like, I miss my old frame. Miss my old frame.
Every now and then, Guppy looks out the window. He's like, "I used to fly over the solar winds. I used to, with a wave of my arm, I could destroy fleets of ships."
I had a real gun.
With
We
real
did have a
guns.
real gun. It nearly tore us in little tiny bits. And we'll get that back for you one day, but today is not that day. Because I feel like this dreadnought is literally somewhere in deep space drifting beyond mapped anything.
Yeah, and like there's no finding it again. It's gone.
It's lost forever.
The ship lost at sea, except the sea is space.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right.
Eventually, you arrive at the planet. You come out of like hyperspace, and you arrive at Georgia Alpha 3, if I remember the name correctly. The space travel itself goes pretty smoothly, and as you descend down into sort of the atmosphere of the planet, you see how this is a lot like, it reminds you a lot of like your dusty homeworld. It's a very similar sort of environment, sort of like reddish sand dunes, that kind of transition between like fine sand and then become sort of like rocky, craggy canyons and stuff like that. As you sort of like come down through the atmosphere and into sort of basically like the sky, but you're not on the ground just yet. You're still kind of like flying on your way to your destination. All of a sudden, your systems start to light up, and Guppy sort of faces back to you, Rhett, and goes, we got life forms detected heading our way, Captain. Looks like a little dual fighter ship, and they got a message for you. Do you want me to patch them through?
Oh, sure, we'll listen to what they got to say. Rhett is absolutely already flipped up the buttons for priming guns.
So the Guppy sort of like his screen kind of like goes staticky for a second. There's like this little waveform that kind of crosses his face, and then it kind of changes to like a sort of screen as if you're looking through a camera, and it's pointed at someone's face, and it's this like grizzly, quite older man with like a sort of like wide brimmed, sort of tall hat, very sort of wrinkly, sunken in face, and like billowing gray hair. And he goes, Rhett, is that you, you son of a bitch? I told you never to show your face in these parts again. What the hell are you doing here?
Well, I see your magnificent mane has only become more magnificent.
You got a lot of nerve coming back here, Rhett. Me and Lewis haven't forgotten what you done to our clan, and you're unlucky that you're crossed our paths here today. And occasionally their voice kind of like breaks up a little bit. The way that this guy sounds, his age is showing a little bit. He's like, you got a weird sort of like to his throat, and the camera sort of occasionally gets jerked to the right to see sort of his companion, who is also kind of like an older individual, this time with like slightly darker skin and kind of femme looking, and going like, Rudolph, is that you back there? You gave me that bum-ass medicine, and my fucking toes fell off. I'll get you for this. And then the camera just, the footage just kind of like cuts, and that's it. That's basically the message.
Well, maybe if y'all wasn't so damn stupid.
So what I would like you guys to do is
Shouldn't have crossed us in the first place, and everything would have been fine.
Yeah, I did give him an injection of saline and told him it was gonna fix everything. He didn't pay me enough.
Why would you take up snake oil as that is never a good venture.
Okay. That dude threatened me into providing medicine. If he wants real care, he's got to talk to me normal.
I ain't saying that's wrong. We should just kill him.
I didn't swear a fucking oath. I thought the saline was gonna kill him. He was really bad.
It's saline. It ain't gonna do shit.
He was. I'm amazed he is still upright. Honestly, his wounds are really bad.
Yeah. So what I would like you guys to do is to nominate one player to roll 1d6 plus the ship's mobility, which I have written down.
May I be the
Here.
one to roll it? And
You
may
may,
I,
'cause I guess you're the pilot after all.
may I use my, well, no may I's. Ace pilot, I can use savvy instead of mobility.
Nice.
Absolutely, go for it.
So you said 1d6?
Mm-hmm.
That's a total of 5 for the 1d6.
Yeah. So that will be, because this is your initiative basically,
Okay.
and then these guys are going to roll the same with their one. That's actually a 6, so they're gonna go first.
Wow.
What they're gonna do is basically if you look out the window, you will see that this smaller fighter has sort of been keeping up with you guys while they were sending this message. And then once they sort of like cut off their message, they've kind of pulled away and sort of moved back a little bit. And what they're going to do, that's their action basically, is to move back. Basically, moving is an action in Orbital Blues. And because you guys got 5, it's now your turn. So you can move as an action. You also have a selection of 3 sort of add-ons to use to your ship. You've got a Gatling gun, you have a battering ram, and you have a salvage claw. There's also just like generic moves that you can do with the spaceship.
How close do I gotta be to use the salvage claw?
That's a good question, actually. Let me very quickly just look that up.
Sin will look at this small craft, and he'll lean over to Rhett. Hey, can you get us much closer? Like really close?
Well, I'm gonna do my absolute best.
Great.
You know I like a good fist fight.
And when he does that, when he says that, Sin, I think they don't like, I feel like they don't have like spaces, but they have like these like breathers that just like create a little like skin tight, like kind of like what they had in Guardians of the Galaxy, where it just creates a little skin tight dome over their head so that they can breathe in space and like survive the coldness of space. And what he does is he activates it and goes and waits by like the exit hatch until this thing gets close enough when it uses like either the salvage claw or the ramming or the ramming battering ram.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it gets close enough, after like the salvage claw or the battering ram does its thing, he'll jump out to pretty much land in whatever hole this thing is it made and try to get onto the ship.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So I would say for the salvage claw, the distance that you have between each other, I think you're classified as like near to each other. It should be enough to like reach out and like grab them if that's what you want to do.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
We're gonna tango. I don't want you going too far.
Okay, so make your roll with your 2d6 plus your little ace pilot stat. What'd you get?
Sorry, that is a total of 9. I was about to do that math wrong.
With a 9. Awesome. So how does it look like when this claw sort of like shoots out? What does it look like when you press the button?
I feel like it's honestly, I almost feel like it's one of those situations where like the sensors on this vessel, yeah, there's the pilot's got, actual not joystick, but that sort of thing to manipulate certain axes. But like when we go into combat, like the whole array of the sensors and the ship kind of shifts a little bit because it was meant to be part of a much larger array. So it got all kinds of neat things. And I mean, some of these sensors are dead, like there's nothing attached to it, so it doesn't tell you anything. But in and amongst these kind of almost hard-like constructs that form, there are certain things that can be manipulated. So as Rhett is moving, over here and swinging the vessel around to, almost crab, kind of, swipes, grabs, and yanks something that launches out this almost like a parabolas, just eat out, and then grips whatever this claw snags onto.
Nice. Okie dokie. Do you want to roll damage for that? Or you don't have to if you're not trying to damage them, I'll say. But if you want to damage them with this claw thing, you can try.
If I damage them, will it prevent me from pulling them closer?
No, I don't think so.
Then sure. Do I have to be the one to roll damage, or
Yes. So,
Okay.
yes, Roos?
Yeah, sorry. If you're using the claw, right? It has the tag bind.
Mm-hmm.
So if we hit, will it keep them close to us?
Yeah. It will be like sort of attached to you guys.
Cool. Nice.
little lasso situation?
Yeah. So basically, just roll 1d6 for me for your damage.
There we go. That is 4 on the dice.
4 on the dice. Okie dokie. You see that like the way that the claw has sort of grabbed this ship, one of the sort of individual part sort of like crunches in, and you can see it sort of the metal digs into what would be one of its engines as you sort of pull it closer. The way that this thing looks is you can see the sort of, because it's a bit smaller than your ship, you basically see that this thing is kind of like, it's got like a glass dome shape for what would be the pilot's seat, but it's like a pilot and then like a co-pilot behind them, and then just like very little room, and then to like get in and out of the ship, and then just like your wings and your guns and your engines and stuff. So it's kind of a small ship, and you see that like as you kind of crush one of the engines and bring it closer, you can see in like the dome the two individuals start to like panic. Like you can't hear them, but you see them, like the older man with like the long white hair that was arguing with you is now like barking at his co-pilot, and the other corporate seems to be like also arguing back to them as this ship is pulled closer.
Oh boy, we are getting this calf today.
I think when that's when Sin like opens up goes into like the little airlock area, opens up the door, and launches himself out, and he will run along the grappling arm to where the door is at. Like I'm guessing is there like one of those top hatch kind of like a top hatch kind of thing, or is it like a side panel door that they walk into?
There's like a I would say like there's both, but the hatch is where you can immediately access the pilot, and then there's like a secondary door where you can go in and grab like basically like very small storage in there.
Okay, he's not going to go through where the pilot's at. He wants to scare these motherfuckers. So
Okay.
he'll go through the secondary door, and I think what he does is he just grabs it, and he will just rip it open using all of that brute strength just to pry it open completely.
Amazing. Why don't you make a muscle check for me, please?
Also, I would like to... Are these guys cowardly right now?
I would say, from like watching them, I think you have enough experience to know, and probably from past experience, because it seems like these guys kind of know you.
Yeah.
But yeah, from all that, you can tell that there is a sort of cowardly element to these guys. They seem to be just sort of like peacocking and sort of showing off.
Okay, cool.
Rather,
Oh,
yeah.
that means they have something to prove too.
Yes.
So that means my gambit kicks in beast, which means I have the upper hand against the cowardly, or against the odds against those with something to prove. So I guess I'll take the upper hand with this.
Yes, please do take your upper hand with that.
Okay, and that means what happens when I get an upper hand?
So you roll 3d6, and then you pick the 2 die that you want to add together.
Sweet. And which stat am I adding to this?
A muscle.
Muscle? All right. Oh, okay. So I'm adding a 5 and a 4 together, plus my muscle. That's an 11.
Hell yeah. How does it look as you like tear open this side door?
I think you kind of see the cameras like like looking from the cockpit area, you see these two people like arguing with each other that what's going, because they're pretty much panicking what's going on. Then all of a sudden they just hear like the loud ripping cranking noise of the door being pried open and getting shut behind them. And the like all of a sudden the lights on the ship turn off and the red emergency lights kick on. So
Yes.
they just hear the klaxons going on, and you just see Sin just walking down like the corridor towards the pilots, towards the cockpit. Like the lighting is all off, it's all red, so you just see him like
Yes.
illuminated. All of this red just looks incredibly intimidating, and he takes his jacket off and he says, hold on, if I'm gonna fuck you guys up, let me get all limber. And he takes the jacket off and sets it to the side, and it makes a loud thud noise as it was heavily weighted. And he cracks his knuckles like, all right, which one of you first wants to get the ass beat up?
Okay,
I
It's
love
like
that
a
so
classier
much.
version of that scene from Rogue One.
Yes. I love that. I would like you to tell me your first memory of when you made someone this shit scared with like your presence.
Ooh. I think the first time it ever happened was there was a scuffle back on my home planet where pretty much two gangs where my gang, the Ouroboros, was going against another rival gang. And it was pretty much not, it was in our favor for a good while, but then they kind of sprung a trap on us where they pretty much rigged a building we were going to be in to like explode. And the explosion went off, trapping all of us in there. And the rival gang on the outside thought, yeah, we got them. Like this entire building just fell on top of them. But there was like a pause, and there was just the sound of something, like the sound of like a sledgehammer hitting concrete as Sin pretty much punched his way out of the rubble. And this was before he had his robot arm. So this was just all him and pure muscle. And after he did that, and when he came out of it, he was covered in injuries and everything because a building just fell on top of him. And after that, he looked at the rest of these gang members and he said, you're going to have to drop a bigger building on me if you really want to stop me. And he proceeded to just go apeshit on them and beat the crap out of them. And he didn't kill anyone. He just beat the ever-loving crap out of all of them so that they could get up, walk away, and tell people not to come back.
Exactly. And you see, like, sort of in between the blinking of your eyes, you see those faces back on your home planet, the terror of watching you just do this impossible feat and come in and know that they're about to get their ass beat, basically. And these two pilots, the exact same, they kind of both sort of freeze as they like turn to look at you and see how you've come in with this huge dramatic entrance with like the red lights flaring, and they're just like fucking shitting themselves. And like instantly they're both kind of like grabbing at each other to like shove one in front of like the other to try and like hide, but like at the same time, so they're just kind of like grappling, and it's really pathetic. I want to cut to Ruiz and ask, what are you doing in this moment? Someone has jumped out of your ship.
Sin has done this move before. Knows Lourdes hates it, but unfortunately it is effective. Just grateful it's not one of the bigger craft. Yeah, is sort of looking out in the cockpit with Rhett, and I want to, and I'd actually like to make a observation check to see, to like maybe like with the ship's scanners, to see if they were being followed, and if anyone from the surface has noticed what's going on up here.
Okay. With that, you can make a just make a straight observation check. So that's just 2d6 flat.
Okay, that's they're flat, right?
Yeah.
Not anything.
Mhm.
Okay, that's 6.
That's a 6. With a 6, you try and sort of like come on to like the ship systems. I imagine you've kind of like run over to some panel or something like that. And then very quickly you hear Guppy sort of appear next to you in his little like hovering frame, and he's just like, "Don't bother with that. We've got our ship is pretty cloaked. Just make sure that they don't hit us, okay? Sure, you can do that, right?"
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Good. And it just kind of like turns and like sort of zooms away back to like the sort of co-pilot seat. With that, we're gonna go back to these guys's turn. Because of like the way that your claw grabbed the ship and sort of the amount of damage that it has, you can see at this point that the engine that has been sort of like damaged is starting to like smoke this heavy sort of black smoke, and the interior lights that have been set off by the door being like ripped open, and the blaring alarm starts to sort of come through and be audible within your ship. The two squabbling gang members, I think, are going to roll interesting amount. Okay, so what happens basically is that the older guy with like the sort of longer hair, his name is Frederick. He eventually sort of loses this grapple war and gets shoved forward in front of Wally. What was your character's name again? I'm sorry. Sin, yes, gets shoved in front of Sin, and immediately like there's like a switch going from this aggressive talking all big shit to being like, hey man, it's been like 20 years, right? And like you already like wrecked our ship, right? So like there's no need, like
He headbutts him.
You what?
He headbutts him. He doesn't even get a word. He like Sin doesn't say a single thing to him. He just headbutts him in response. Because that's how I can get a blues. You reach for weapons before words, and I am a weapon.
Amazing. Roll your blues, please.
Sweet.
This is one of those moments of I don't care if you're a man, woman, or somebody.
Exactly. I don't care what you are. All these hands are rated E for everyone.
Awesome.
Okay. That is a 7.
Yeah. With a 7, you kind of sorry. What did I just ask you to roll? I just playing.
A blues.
Yes, with a blues. With a 7, you gain a blues.
Sweet.
With that. And I'm gonna ask you to tell me another memory.
Ooh.
About where a critical moment where you did a similar move and struck out before like words were finished.
So there was a moment back when we were all as a crew, and it was all three of us. We're pretty much having a moment where we're trying to negotiate a trade-off with with a client, and pretty much Loudres and Rhett were pretty much handling all the various types of negotiations, and Sin is just sitting there, just not really paying attention the whole time, just kind of like just being there just to be intimidating. But there was a point where the client lied, and they didn't catch it. It went over their heads because it was a very like kind of a double talk kind of lie, but Sin caught it. And there was a moment where they're trying to talk to this guy, trying to get like this negotiation down. Sin just reached over, grabbed the guy by the collar, and slammed his head into the table, and did it over and over and over and over and over again until like the guy's jaw was broken. And he pretty much said, "Yeah, that guy was lying to us the whole time. I don't think he's going to be lying anymore."
And you remember the sort of stunned silence that followed that violent act.
Christ, dude.
And the smell of sorry?
And then just one small shit from Rhett.
From Rhett. and you remember the smell of like the blood entering your nose, and that same blood now enters your nose again as you headbutt this guy, and his nose just like you feel the crack of his nose under your head as blood starts sort of like streaming down his upper lip and stuff, and that just takes him out, collapses onto the ground, knocked out. The other individual kind of like looking down at what just happened, looking up at you, and is like, "I won't say nothing. Promise not to hurt me."
Sin like looks down at this guy's like, "Actually, I need you to say something. I need you to let us know exactly, why you're hunting us down, and pretty much give us any kind of information that you have on your ship that we could use. We're not going to send you adrift, don't worry. Maybe.
We'll tell you the shore comes through the freaking
Yeah, like at this point, it's easy enough for you to move from your ship to their ship, their little fire, because the claw has basically brought you guys like flush together, still flying. But this individual who goes by Mary, she will introduce herself. Kind of sort of like, well, stay with you actually, and she points at Rhett. You owe someone money,
Okay.
and they said that if you ever step foot here, that we're supposed to come get you and bring you in, so that there's a bounty on you, basically.
Horizontal.
Yeah, so that's why we're here.
What was this bounty? I think Rhett at this point, since we're pretty much stuck together and like piloting can be given to Gup for now, but
Yeah.
I think Rhett starts trying to pull up what the bounty scanner has to say, because wait. But who's put this one on me?
Yeah, like Sid looks over Rhett's shoulder to see where his bounty is at comparison to Rhett's.
And you scroll through like the names and stuff, and your name does pop Rhett, and attached to your name is just like a load of like fines for reckless driving that have all just stacked together in such an amount that they're allowed to send a bounty hunter after you, basically.
Ow, come hell on. I shot a man dead, and this is what they got on me?
Yep.
Well, they
And
never
then-
found the guy.
Exactly.
I mean, they did. They just didn't know they found him.
And
Wait,
your name pops up, and it's not enough to warrant a bounty, but you do have like criminal allegations attached to your name, and it's just like aggravated assault.
Yeah, that seems about right. He just looks happy that he's still down for aggravated assault. Nothing.
Yeah,
else.
exactly. That hasn't changed.
He looks at that. He said, "You see that, Rhett? That's called maintainability. All right."
Maintain ability. Maintain a what ability?
Maintaining my common record of just having aggravated assault. I don't step out of my lane. I know what I'm good at.
I ain't stepped out of my lane. Reckless endangerment. It's bullshit, but knew exactly what I was doing.
Hey, I lean over the computer, type in my name. You see how it only says criminal conspiracy? It's because I clean up my shit and I clean up your guys' shit. You both know you both killed people, and who dealt with it?
You see Sin kind of stare off at a moment because there was like you see in his brain like there was a brief moment where he thought like the bodies just disappeared. Like he thought the bodies just disappeared randomly for a brief moment. He's like,
City Spawn, exactly.
Sin and Rhett are at a bar, and in the background, like illuminated by like the parking lot light, is me dragging a corpse onto the ship to take it apart and melt it. And then I just like vent it out with the rest of our waste once we get into space.
We are not nice people. Like Rhett's like, you didn't have to do it. We didn't ask you to do it. You just decided to do it.
I thought the bodies just disappeared on their own.
Yeah. The goddamn murder fairy took care of them.
I mean, that is in fact what a doctor is it not? Murder fairy.
Let's get on the surface and get rid of these guys. I don't.
From behind you, the Mary pops up and she's like, "Is my name on there also?"
You know what? Let's look it up. And real quick, is this the same Mary that Elaine had mentioned, or you know what? We wouldn't know that unless I asked. So I think Rhett does ask. Do you happen to know one Miss Elaine?
Oh,
to run with us?
I don't know. My memory's kind of foggy.
Sin punches the floor right next to their head.
Yes. Yeah. They're my boss is the one who knows Elaine and said for us to come and get you at.
Okay. Then you are not the one that is a skillful electrician, shall we say?
No.
All right. Just gonna drop them off once we're in atmosphere. Figure it out.
As you like when you like talk about the other Mary, like Lourdes gives Rhett the look, and the look of like, if you tell this person about what we're doing here, I'm going to tranquilize you, because she's done it before to the both of them.
The entire time Brett was talking, focusing full in on Mary, and just like, no, I do not see that. I do not see that. I'm not being threatened. Nothing's wrong here.
Amazing. What do you do with like their ship? Because you're still kind of holding on to it with your claw.
So literally, once we're into atmosphere, Rhett's gonna be, all right, you can fly that thing by yourself, right?
I mean,
at least good enough to get to the ground.
If you let me
enough
go
to get
and
it to
not shoot me.
Enough to get it to a shipyard. They'll be fine.
No, I don't care about shipyards. Ground safely in one piece.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not too much body damage. They just can't make it off planet, which is probably for the best.
I mean, what? You just gotta like seal the door up with some duct tape. You'll be fine.
You really got to do that.
More so concerned about the engine, but you know.
Oh right, yeah. We broke that engine. That's true. Yeah,
yes.
We did that.
Yeah.
Once Mary is back on that vessel, Rhett is effectively going to kind of not lasso, but like just do a little yeet and release.
And you can't hear it, but you can probably imagine like the wah from Mary as the ship is spun, and there's this like sort of spiral smoke as she's like flung away into the atmosphere, and your ship just continues without any problems.
And watches the ship get thrown away. Are we good people?
Well, I cannot believe you are asking this again. We are great people.
Oh, all right, cool. All right.
I don't know, Sin. Are we good people?
We are great people.
Keep us alive.
I did not name me. My parents named me, and that is not a common naming nomenclature on my home world. So,
yeah. You ever heard of nominative determinism?
No, I have not, and I choose not to think about it.
All right, let's case this fucking office.
To ask, but it seemed like it'd be a bad, rude thing to do, maybe. But was it sin as in doing wrong, or sin as in without? I mean, the mean either way. But
oh no, my name is Sin. My father's name is Amity, and my mother's name is Pestilence.
Okay.
Everyone on my home world are named after like terrible things. It's kind of like, retaking back the name and kind of like, naming that as our strongest quality. My name was Sin because I'm kind of a shit. So, yeah.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Still better than the name that my folks gave me.
Wait, that's your name's not your real name?
This is my government legal name, Red Star. You can see it on that bounty. You can see it on my identification.
Why did you look
care about legality?
Why did you look out the window like you're worried someone was looking at you when you said that part?
Don't do not worry about it.
All right. Okay.
Amazing.
I am up to 3 blues.
I was saying that, like, I don't think we'll get like all 8 blues and have to face the trouble, but maybe we do with the way that you guys are going. Amazing.
I'm normal.
Oh, I got another blues because I left my flow cowering in fear.
Yeah.
You did.
Oh yeah.
Which is great.
And I got one for putting lords down. I'm sorry.
So how many blues are you at?
I have 2 blues right now.
2 blues.
I am at 4.
You're at
I am
4.
halfway there, baby.
Halfway.
Oh no, wait, 3. I'm at 3 because I answered 2 questions and I used actually no, 4. I'm at 4 blues because I reached for weapons before words. I left a flow cowering and I answered 2 questions. So I'm at 4.
Amazing. You're right. Okay, we're at 3 and 4. Okay, we might end up doing some troubles later on. Okay, so
I'm so good at this game, guys.
You guys are great.
We are engaging with all of its mechanics, therefore we are doing very good.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah.
Orbital blues, any percent speed run.
80% speed run. We're gonna do everything today. Your ship continues on through this sort of dusty, not quite wasteland, but there isn't much to sort of look at. And eventually you do come across this little sort of settlement territory where all these little sort of ranches and stuff are spread out, divided by among these fences. And eventually you do see this sort of gray monolithic building emerge from the distance, surrounded by these little haciendas and stuff. The twin suns of this planet begin to set as you finally approach. And I think that's a great time for us to go and take a little break. So we'll see you guys very, very soon.
Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apoc Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. Apoc U wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplanar RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplanar RPG is an award-winning, all transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the Apoc Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Fearless Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your characters' memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tinder Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of Black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today. Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy Mark J coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apoc Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. Apoc U wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplaner RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplaner RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the APOC U Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your character's memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tinder Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're ready to do some more rootin' tootin' shootin' with our little excellent crew, which is full of blues. You find yourselves on this dusty planet as the twin suns are setting, and you're bringing your ship towards your destination, Rhett. Where do you park your ship in the settlement?
I think Rhett actually goes and parks it because this is a moon that Rhett isn't familiar with, but it's set up like a lot of similar moons in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And we've our crew was pretty tight knit when it was tight knit, so I feel like Rhett does remember where uh, Elaine's Tia and Tio live. So just kind of out, not literally at their hacienda, but like out in the kind of dustier, maybe not dusty, but out a ways from their property.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you wanna make a roll for your ship on how it lands? On how you
I can
land?
do that, yeah. All right, that is unfortunately only a 7.
With a 7, your ship kind of like comes down in like this sort of like hover. Right, you're kind of like easing it down slowly towards the ground, and then when it finally sort of hits the ground, there's this almighty like thunk as one of the sort of like standy legs gives way and breaks just from wear, because the ship is a little bit older at this point. So you feel this vibration, and then the ship kind of just like jerks at a slight angle and then just sits.
The entire time, just settling down, like, all right, okay, nice and easy, and then that kind of starting that don't come on, just hold a little longer, come on, just a little longer, girl, come.
And then just like the crunch.
Oh, you poor girl, you poor sweet baby. Oh,
Guppy kind of like lights up again, like, you did it again. Good job.
How many times has this happened?
That landing pylon's been a bit spotty. Just
told you to repair it, told you to get it done, but
it's
nobody listens to me.
It's expensive to get the parts you need to do it right. So you do a little spot repair and tell yourself, I'm gonna get to it, I'm gonna get to it.
And now we're here.
We're fucking here.
I'll go find a plank.
Looks like playing Jeeves is not really getting you any money to fix the dang ship.
It's enough money to keep us in the air, okay?
He looks over at Gup, is like, is it?
Barely, but it is barely enough money to keep us in the air.
Yeah. He's like,
On account of heists and stuff are not steady employment.
Yeah.
And that is another point of blues for me.
Oh goodness.
Oh my gosh, we are just
zooming towards those troubles, baby. Amazing. You exit the ship, imagine. And although this is kind of like a deserty environment, now that the suns have gone down and the twilight is kind of taken over, the temperature drops and you feel this kind of like dry chill in the air as you disembark your ship. It's not long before in the distance you see a single figure approaching on a mounted creature. You can't tell just yet because it's like far away and it's getting kind of dark, but they are carrying a very sort of like rudimentary lantern that's like attached to like a pole that's attached to their mount, basically. And as they approach, you see that as the mount sort of emerges closer, it's this kind of like velociraptor looking creature with like feathers all over, longer at the tail. It's got like a saddle and like reins and stuff and like a pair of blinders. as it kind of the person trots towards you, and then kind of turns on their side so that you can like get a proper look at their whole body, and then they're kind of like, you're the guys with that Elaine sent?
You with Theo Locke?
I am Tio. So,
Nice to see you again. Dark.
Hola.
Hola, agradecer. And there's this kind of like caution around him as he speaks to you guys, but he's just like, so you're here for the, and he kind of nods his head towards that sort of monolithic gray building in the sort of middle distance. You for that?
Delivery crew.
Delivery crew. Okay, well, I'll show you the way there, and then you can go do your business. And he kind of turns with his little mount and starts sort of like walking away, leading you guys away from your ship. What's going through your heads right now?
Well, I know for Rhett for sure. Just kind of, we're going along and keeping an eye out and all that. Just the usual stuff you do out in the desert in the night, in the twilight. That's when critters come out to hunt and eat and do the needful. But also, Rhett is looking up at the stars. He's forever been obsessed with the stars. Telling his folks, one day I'm going to be up there, and I'm not going to be down here digging in the dirt no more. Chasing dumb herd beasts and feeding the pigs. Hate these pigs.
And on this, yeah, go on.
Out of his mouth here and now is some beautiful stars y'all got here.
Yeah, the individual on their mount says like, here there's they haven't polluted the skies yet, as you can see, so we can still see the stars, but for how long, who knows. He continues to like trot along. And you do see like little critters coming out of like holes and stuff, fighting over food and then scurrying back in. Calls sort of start to erupt through the night from different animals for whatever reasons. It's weirdly peaceful here after like the excitement of like the ship and the thrum of like the bar. It's so quiet here apart from all the noise and stuff. Eventually, what's his name? Theo Jesse is his name. Kind of takes you to this dirt track road, and that's where he stops, and he kind of like gestures with his hand like, follow the road down there, take you to the building, and from there it's up to you. So good luck. Is there anything you want to leave behind? I'll take care of it. No?
We only brought our gear.
I got to leave anything behind for that ain't already here.
Just checking, you never know. All right. Well,
Oh,
buena suerte.
buena suerte. Before you go, though, can we have some, any thick wood you got just kind of lying around? We need to do some quick repairs when we get back.
Thick wood. And he kind of looks off into like the distance. It's like, well, we might have some lying around, some
Scrap metal.
firewood or something.
Our ship broke a landing strut when we were coming down.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah.
Look, if we pay you some bucks, can you do something about it?
If you know anyone who can, we'll need to leave very quickly.
Couple bucks ain't gonna do you much around here. Have to be
a bit of scrap and something to prop her up just to get off the planet.
Well, you know, the labor costs and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm a hardworking man. I got stuff to do. This energy doesn't come from nowhere.
No, it do not. Is there a role involved with haggling in this game?
Just roll your savvy.
Okay. Ooh, okay. That is a total of 11.
11. What do you say to like fully convince him?
I think it's a combination of just discussion, the if we pull this off, I can almost guarantee you'll have these stars for at least another 5 years.
Yeah, and with an 11, he does sort of, he looks up again at the stars, and he really sort of takes them in. And he lives under these stars every night, but he really does sort of like take a moment to appreciate the smattering of like the galaxies across the sky. And without the light pollution, it looks like graying basically because of all the stars that we can see. And he just sigh. Okay. 2 gold it is then. Two credits.
Hey,
You
now,
get your ship.
I ain't shortchanging you. It's 4 credits easy, but
4 credits. 4 credits. I'll
Just-
fix up that leg of yours.
prop it up.
Yeah.
I ain't
Do
gonna
that.
ask for your best because y'all need that stuff.
That we do. That sounds good. I'll take that. Pulls his hands out.
It passes hands, and on the one hand, Rhett is happy to do it, but that was absolutely the very last credit he had to his name.
He sort of does a little like heel kick to his little velociraptor mount. There's a quick little whistle, and it just like it zooms off at speed, leaving you alone on this sort of long stretch of road before you get to that gray monolith building. You also see at this point, plastered on the top of this building, this big light up billboard that's just like coming soon, luxury villas, sponsored by Tomaton Corporation, and it just flashes that in the night.
Sin looks up at that, and I think there's like another flashback to back when he was back on his home world, and how it was like Tomaton came in. This wasn't before they were the older company. This is when they were freshly established as Tomaton, and all of these like pretty much, I think what landed on the planet were like these all-purpose androids. Like they were not human, definitely, but they were just mechanical humans made to like survive any kind of climate, any kind of terrain. And they first started was like a very like kind and polite way of like, hey, we're coming here, we want to do this, and we instantly met them with like, get out, and just beat the crap out and destroyed any that came in. But then it started where they started to like do tiny little placements among the gangs where they were disguised as us to meld in with us and kind of like spread seeds of like venom and doubt amongst all of us, saying maybe we could rely on that. And then eventually one gang like sided with them, and then another gang did. But then Tomaton did that to have all of the gangs like fight each other to like wipe each other out. But when it came to my gang, we were like that last few that kind of held the line before Tomaton came in and took over it all. And it was part of my gang that was there. Like it was the last line of defense. We were there to stand up to them, but it was too much of a struggle to survive, and we were all defeated, and we escaped the planet before they came in and pretty much built a bunch of like luxury apartments.
Yeah. And that memory kind of flashes over you the same way that this billboard flashes through its multiple advertising, but the one that sort of stays up for the longest is the one for these villa apartments. And it shows the kind of the landscape around you, and then superimposed on top of it are like these like white, clean, square, copy paste kind of homes and stuff with like fake little palm trees and little like reservoirs of water that don't really belong on this sort of planet.
He will walk up to that billboard. Is it like high up on the? Is it like high above them, or is it like kind of low?
It's basically like sort of attached to the top of this building.
I look up at it and I look around and I just pick up a piece of debris and I just chuck it at the billboard, and there is like such force and like strength behind it. It's intentionally meant to go straight through the billboard.
Nice. Okay.
What part of
Roll.
the billboard are you aiming at?
Oh, the building, like the head of like one of the smiling people on
Okay.
the billboard.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll muscle for me.
Okay. That is a 10.
That is a 10. With a 10, your rock sails through the air and makes this like brilliant like crack in the screen that's like a spider web, exactly where you wanted it, that like smiling figure. And then you see around it like the screen, like the image has that sort of like the broken color lines that kind of flicker up and down around the crack. So you've damaged it pretty significantly.
I get another blues because I lost my temper.
Ooh, we're creeping towards them. That's exciting.
That's 5 for me.
Amazing. As you approach this building, you see two figures stood outside what would be the sort of like front door main entrance along this dirt road. They're both clad in sort of like dark looking uniform. They've got what appear to be sort of like stun guns, basically, sort of holstered to their side. One of them is sort of like kind of like leaning back against the wall next to the door, looking quite relaxed. And the other one seems to be sort of like stood quite straight and actually attentive and stuff, like looking around. How would you guys like to approach these two?
Sin looks like he's just about to run and punch one of these guys, but like he waits to see what the others do.
Mm-hmm.
And you said they're armed. They're definitely on guard.
Mm-hmm.
Are they clearly off-worlders or are they locals? Is that something that could be told?
Ooh, here's a question I'll ask.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll an observation check to see if they are the same androids that came to my planet? Because then I would know if they are off-world, if they are people within the company or something.
Yeah. Make your observation roll, and I would say that like if you're both like trying to suss these guys out, I'll say that like you can roll with upper hand.
Yeah, because I think it's also I definitely told the others about these androids.
Yeah.
Like that these if we were ever in a situation where you see these, do not hold back. They are definitely ones you want to take care of.
Yeah.
I think you have higher stats, so you should roll with it.
Okay. So, rolling upper hand, you will roll 3d6, and you just choose the two dice that you want to add together.
6. We'll let the bee decide. The bee decided no.
Oh no.
No.
So that is flat roll. That is a flat roll of 3.
Flat roll of 3. Do you... Damn, okay. I was trying to think of something.
Spend a heart or nothing to...
You can spend a heart
Yeah.
if you want to re-roll.
Okay. I think I would like to re-roll, and that's just normal.
Yeah.
Get out of here, B. You said no. Still only a 6, but better than 3.
Better than 3. It's dark, and it's kind of hard to tell if these guys are off-worlders or not. There's a couple of like sort of flickery not street lamps, but like lights that are like attached to the building. They're more like spotlights that shine down on the entrance, and you guys are in the darkness and these guys are standing in bright light. It's just hard to tell really from this distance without having to get close and talk to them.
In that case, I guess from here. Evening.
You see the attendant one kind of like straightens up and kind of like turns to you. Immediately, like the hand is like resting on like their stun gun, and they're like, "Who goes there? State your purpose."
No need for that. Just visiting from out of town. Saw this whole new big building.
Mm-hmm. You just looking, huh?
Is that billboard board true? There's gonna be some luxury apartments in here.
Not military, just
luxury, not military.
I heard military. Yeah, luxury apartments. Folks they're gonna bring in like mining workers and stuff, and this is where their family's gonna live.
Jobs and stuff with them.
Yeah, lots of jobs.
Oh. You know how much them apartments is gonna run, or is the company paying for that relocation? Like, that seems like a lucrative gig.
No, none of my business to know. I'm just security.
Oh, dang.
The relaxed one that's kind of like leaning against the wall, it's kind of like snorts, and it's just like probably something like 2 million credits a month for like a box apartment, something stupid like that.
That'd be shit.
Yep.
So wait. What kinds of accommodations y'all in? They ain't got you in no box apartment, do they?
Well, they kind of shuttle us in from like one of the satellite ports. That's where the team is staying.
How we're positioned? We're sort of three of us. The talkative guard has stepped up.
He's just kind of like straightened up. He's not like walked towards any of you. He's just kind of straightened up to like be heard, basically.
Okay, so he's still standing right next to the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all on night duty aren't doing like, oh, we go staying here all day in the sun and then staying here all night. Like, y'all get to go and like hang out at the cantina or something, right?
Well, we got shifts. We're here till how long ago did the sun go down? Sun went down about an hour or so ago. We're here for another 10 hours, maybe 11.
All right. Well, at least there's that.
Yeah.
Well, y'all stay warm.
Thank you. And they kind of there's a bit of like suspicion there that you kind of just like appeared and talked to them and then kind of disappeared, and they kind of look between each other, but they don't really do anything else apart from that.
Just taking a little walk, a little constitutional. Desert's beautiful at night. I promise.
I lean over to Rat. Like, let's do a loop around, see if there's another entrance or.
And even if they entrance, maybe we can cause a bit of a stink away from the entrance.
So we've just seen a massive black cube. So like everything else, everything that makes this the site run is inside of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. As I'd like for us to do a loop around, and I want to see what their waste system is like.
Okay, you can do that.
I feel like this is not the first time we've done a sewer run if it had to come to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely not.
So you do a little loop around the building. Do you try and sneak around like the loop, or are you just casually like walking around?
Red is casual. There's no sneaking involved. He wants the guards who saw him to see him come back around and then leave, because just to walk. It's really easy to walk on concrete as compared to the rest of the desert.
Yeah, since we already were seen by sound, so it would be better for us to just be visible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guards do kind of like follow you, like their eyes like do follow you as you like make your way around, but they don't sort of pursue you just yet. Making your way around the building, it seems like fairly clean. You see some like boxes that are sort of attached to that outside that act as like those air conditioning units with like the big fan and stuff, keeping the place indoor cool. Coming around the back, you see this big sort of like flat area, along with like storage boxes and like very long tubes and pipes and things. You would guess that this is some sort of like uh very like makeshift landing space for for small ships to come in and out, possibly the shuttle that takes the crew here and back. um you also see sort of like piles of discarded like wood and like metal on the outside next to these sort of big metallic sort of like double doors that are meant to fit in like large objects rather than just people. So
Yeah,
that's
it was
what
like
you
the
see.
loading bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a thought.
What's
We
that?
Get out of here.
Mhm.
We have access to comms with Guppy, right?
I'd say yeah. You can have problems with copy, yeah.
Because if they've got a landing pad, it'll be a lot easier to get out and off world if
If we call her here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. But we still got to get inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we could do is as soon like when we're leaving, we could send a signal to Gabi to come to that.
Yeah. I just gotta make sure to let them know is all. In which case, yeah, just gonna shoot a quick little, not a full-on comms burst because it's not, hey, come get me yet, and it's also not, I don't want them to be listening in if they have the means.
You send off like a little voice message to Guppy.
And I feel like it's something we've probably practiced.
Yeah.
It's something we've used before, but not so often that it's a known MO.
You get a snippy response from Guppy being like, well, there you go doing that thing again. I'll be standing by, with like a sigh, and then like the comms just kind of like cuts again. So what's the plan?
We doing this quiet or we doing it loud?
Well, you know how I feel.
Okay.
It's up to you, Doc. You know how I feel.
I do know how you feel, unfortunately. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get in through these loading doors. The gate, the front is going to be well watched.
Likely
All
so.
right.
You could open Doc on the inside.
Let's see.
Automaton likes to use them observation AI.
That's what I'm worried about.
They
That was
got
going to be a storm. Let's look at. So you said there was a lot of like tubes on the outside. Were those like just like tubing to be get to be installed, or are they already installed outside of the facility?
Some of them are already installed, and others are in sort of like just like loose piles. The ones you can see that are like sort of installed and ready to go, I think Rhett would probably know that these are like fueling tubes for ships. So when they come, you attach it, and then a ship can get refueled, and then detach, ship flies away. Those are the ones that are seem to be attached and functioning. But there are sort of like loose ones that aren't attached to anything, don't really serve a purpose at the moment.
I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Them fueling tubes, right? Now,
Yep.
if we're trying to get this place to burn, we could just use one that's already there. But they got different things in place to stop a fuel fire, choke it and all. But the guards don't need to know that it ain't the real fuel line burning.
So we burn one of these as a distraction.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if that's amenable to you, Doc.
It's worth a shot.
Oh.
I'm going to, because fuel's very volatile. I doubt we would just be able to just shoot it. So
I have tried. It don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Sin, if you could use your arm to sort of just scrape some of the outer coating, maybe then that'll be enough to pierce where Rhett could shoot it, and that would be enough to pierce through.
Sin looks at that tube like, all right, easy enough. And he will walk up to it and kind of like take his knuckles, like scrape it, like a little weak spot on it, and then yells at Rhett, all right, don't try to miss this. I made it big enough.
And I think the shot that goes just past your jaw and right at that spot.
Wait for the first.
Well,
The broom goes off. Sin is still standing there.
Red's weapon, it's a pistol, but it's a strange kind of modified thing. Long barrel, looks like it ought to be a slug thrower, kind of acts like a slug thrower, except it is plasma. It's condensed plasma.
Mm-hmm.
Its energy cell chamber looks like a revolver's barrel.
That's pretty
And
cool.
the fun thing about this little pistol, it's not a small pistol. I don't know why I called it little. It's at least, barrel wise from here to here. Like it's not a small thing. It's a machine pistol. This thing got rapid fire.
That's
So if
pretty
that first shot wasn't enough to pierce it.
Well, I was gonna ask you to roll, I think you're savvy for that.
Okay, sounds
That
good.
shot.
That's okay.
How much did you get?
Oh gosh, come on, kid. 5 total. I will spend some heart and re-roll that. That is unacceptable.
Okie dokie, spend your heart to re-roll that.
Come on, buddy. There we go. Much better. That is a total of 11.
Amazing, yeah. With an 11, you expertly whip out your pistol that is not actually quite small. And how does it look when you shoot it? towards this pipe, this tube.
Well, you know, Rhett, he fires from the hip. Just
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
right past in, right into the spot.
Yeah, and it just the glowy sort of plasma shot hits it directly where you wanted it to, and a happy little flame just starts cooking away at the little tube, melting the sort of like plastic, and very rapidly the flame starts to like grow bigger and bigger, letting off more smoke and stuff, and eventually the smell of the smoke starts to really sort of fill the area. And it's not long before you hear shouting coming from the front of the building. Is there anything anyone else wants to do in this sort of split second while the security guards come running?
Come on. And I point to like one of the pallets of supplies to like get around. It's like, Sin, hold your breath. That stuff's poisonous.
He holds his breath.
Yeah, and I
It's
think
good you said that because Rhett was literally about to like book it into the desert. Because it's not the first time we've done an arson gig either.
yeah, no.
Why?
Yeah, and yeah, we could just watch how many guards come out from the back doors.
So none come from the back doors, just the two from the front come running around basically.
Oh, these people are cheap as shit. Holy
Yeah, they are.
Fuck yeah.
They come running out and they're like, what the hell? What happened here? Pulling out their stun guns and like looking around. What are you guys doing?
Like Sin looks over at Lodres and just goes like, "Do you want me to?" Like making hand motions of like crushing, of like breaking them.
Let me see something real quick. I'll double check what my weapon use is. I know this is this isn't okay. I don't think this is exactly it. I think using like a gun is savvy
Yes.
traditionally.
Yes.
But could I argue to use my grit if I know that they're coming and I'm taking the time to wait and level my shot?
Yes. Absolutely, you can do that. Roll your grit for that.
And as I'm like getting ready to line it up, I like look at Sin and gesture for him to go around so we can do it simultaneously.
Okay.
Nice. Okie dokie. Yeah, so roll your grit.
That is an 8 exactly.
An 8, that's a success. So what does it look like when you shoot out?
So I use a tranq pistol.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird and awkward looking, but it does shoot these like tranquilizing darts that I like load into the back. It almost looks more like a hot glue gun than an actual pistol.
Yeah.
I just sort of like I put the dart in the back, squeeze, and then it fires out.
Yeah. And it lands
and they get like
in the shoulder, yeah. Does it have like the little feather thing at the end to like see where it hit?
Yes, just because the darts are refillable and they're kind of expensive. So I pull them back out, sanitize it, and refill it with medication.
Yeah, and the security guard that's just been hit kind of goes like, what? Like seeing the little thing, tries to like sort of reach around and grab it, and then just kind of like stumbles to the floor, like losing control of their limbs, and then just kind of like not quite just passing out yet, but they're immobilized at the moment. Over to Sin. How do you approach this other security guard?
Okay, so I swing around the other way. As soon as like the security guard comes running, I'm still holding my breath and I like kind of like swing around behind them and I want to use my weapon, but I stop myself because I was told not to. So he will just go and like kind of grab them from behind and just like fall backwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'd say roll grit for that one as well.
Okay. That's one. That is a 7.
With a 7, you kind of like you pull like the both of you sort of like backwards and stuff, but he flails enough that like you both land at like kind of an angle that allows them to start sort of like scrambling to try and like get away. Basically, you didn't quite achieve what you wanted to do just yet. Rhett, is there anything you want to do in this moment?
I think Rhett actually starts hoofing it towards the front.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I lied. Rhett actually goes for the guy that just got tranked and
Mm-hmm.
starts trying to pilfer whatever key card or whatever he's got to get inside.
Yeah, and you find that quite easily. He's got like a little badge that like he wore like around his neck, and it says quite clearly on like key card, do not lose. Employee salary will be penalized if lost. And you find that on their person. You can use that.
We've done this routine plenty of times.
Yeah. The other one is going to make a roll to try and like free themselves. So I rolled a double 6. The maximum amount.
Ooh.
They wriggle out of like your grip, manage to sort of like get up, and then throw like a kick towards your ribs, Sin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna roll that. And that is a hit. These dice roll so hard.
Watch this guy be from like a planet or moon that's like the similar to yours, except people aren't just built jack, they're like compact and like wiry.
So you're gonna lose 4 heart.
Okay.
As this big heavy boot kind of like digs right into your chest and forces the air out of you. And then they pull out their stun gun, but they basically already taken their action, so they can't shoot you just yet. Who's up next? Because you guys can kind of decide what you want to do to back up your friend.
So Sin is gonna look over at the others, like, nope, not in a very well kind of way of like, I'm going to hit this guy. Like I know I am going to hit this guy like I intend to hit this guy after someone hit me, kind of hit this guy.
Lourdes is gonna like come like after getting the shot off, like, is gonna come like jogging out and just goes.
So what happens is the guy goes to hit me with a stun gun.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think what Sin does, he like rolls backwards so that the stun gun like hits the ground in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he kicks up to his feet, and he takes that he swings that coat he's wearing to the side. You see like around his waist are these like shotgun shells, and he pulls one off of his belt and he rolls up his chrome arm, and a port opens up in the arm where he throws the shotgun shell in, and he like does like a fist, like a locking motion, like you hear like a loud audible click noise, as then he then rings his fist back, and you hear this sound of like plasma whirring up as you see his fist start to hum and glow brightly, as like this plasma ball just starts to form in shape in front of his fist, and he punches it, and the plasma ball flies towards this guy's gut and it slams him dead in the chest, and it just sends him flying backwards.
Yes.
But it is like incredibly loud.
Yeah, there's this like like I feel like it sounds a lot like those weird like the discharge things from Star Wars where it's like bah, like
Yeah.
this like kind of shockwave sound effect as this guy gets launched backwards, falls into like the dirt, and kind of with enough force that his body kind of like continues a little bit and leaves like a little trail behind. um yeah, I would say that kind of just knocks him right out, because this is like low level mob. One hit usually takes them out.
Like I look
So
over at the others, like, see, I just gave him back what he gave to me. Like, just a little love tap.
Proud of you. You did
so yeah, you stand. It's now nighttime. Basically behind this building, the fuel line is still sort of like smoking away. Some of the fuel has like spilled out onto the ground and is like also just like burning happily. The two security guards now are just like lying basically prone, incapacitated, and you basically have this building to yourself now. So what would you like to do?
In
I
hindsight, if they're so cheap they only got the two guards, they probably don't actually have a fuel line sealing apparatus. So we maybe should put that out.
I'm going to. I want to search the other guard, get their key card.
Yeah,
Also take the stun
their one is a
baton.
little bit singed.
Yeah. And as I'm like searching this guard, I get a blues. My first one.
Finally.
Because my trouble is time behind bars, and I'm reminded of a time where a group of us. I was probably it was a couple years into my sentence. I was 15 when I was convicted. Spent about 15 years in jail.
I gotta admit, that was like perfectly timed.
That was
Yeah, it was so thematic.
One of the pains of living close to a hospital. Anyway, yeah, a group of us. It was very much like sci-fi version of the pit from Dark Knight Rises. This is very Bane coded, and we tried to steal a shuttle. A group of us just sort of like jumped a couple of guards. It was the first time like Lourdes had struck someone in anger. She's just sort of like, they have plenty of tools because obviously they're going to make money by putting prisoners to work. So she hits the guard with the shovel, takes the keys to the ship, realizes she does not know how to fly, and all of a sudden, because apparently it was some sort of drill or test or whatever, the sky gets blacked out by dozens of shuttles as they severely crack down on this very short-lived uprising. And she gets a little bit of like a flash of that. You see she's like holding the badge and just sort of like stares at nothing, quiet for a couple seconds. Fuck the fire, we're gonna burn it all down anyway, and just like tucks it into her poncho and just tries to open. If there's a loading bay door, there has to be a door to the side where people enter in order to open the loading bay door. So she's going to go for that.
Yeah.
And
you find that door quite easily. It reads your card effortlessly, and the door kind of like sort of slides open, leading into the building. What is everyone else doing? Are you guys just following? Wally, you're muted.
Sin is gonna follow them in, But he's gonna keep pretty much keeping a lookout for any off-worlders, because it's very, like, even with like them trying to save money, and that these were two, like, guards that they hired on from the planet. It's very weird that there's no other off-worlders here. Like, this is it. So he's just trying to keep a lookout for anything else popping off.
Yeah.
Rhett is gonna take a moment to actually call out, comms out to Guppy, because A, this is fishy, and B, with this kind of fire, our timeline just shrunk because it's not sealing. And he kind of looks at that and shakes his head because, yeah, sure, we were going to burn it down anyway, but that kind of fuel is poison.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a kind of stain that takes generations to go away.
And you see how it kind of, the fuel sort of starts to like leak into the ground and sort of get absorbed by the dirt, and that really harsh like fuel smell just kind of hangs around in the air even as it like sort of burns away. Assuming you all sort of eventually make your way inside.
Yeah.
You see, as you come inside, you're presented with this sort of warehouse type environment. Lots of like really tall shelves with like bulk boxes of wood and metals like steels, aluminiums, and coppers and things like that. Many more of those tubes that you saw outside that are like not being used in this kind of like newer condition and stuff. You do see that like the interior of the building doesn't have that sort of the same sort of pristine look that the outside does, that sort of clean monolith. In here, there's like unfinished paint jobs. There's like vent grates that are not like properly covered. There's dust on the floor that seems to be building up in like corners, and things like that. And there's just that kind of scent of like fresh paint, fresh cement. This building in here really gives off like newly constructed vibes out of maybe not the best materials.
I mean, so somehow simultaneously has that vague mildew smell.
Yeah.
I unfortunately know it well.
Yeah. And yeah, there you see there are some sort of doors on the sides that have like those like fire exit signs, the little green ones. But apart from that, it looks really sort of just minimal, just recently built kind of vibe. What is your plan? Remember, you have your bag from Elaine.
All right, so we're just gonna find a place to put a bomb and set it off and get out of here.
Copper's valuable. Aluminum's valuable. That's valuable. Literally, Rhett is just kind of starting to take stock of, okay, if we can get that out of here, that'll be great, because great for us, but also great for the locals if they can hold on to it. And I mean, you put it out in a canyon somewhere, they'll be able to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we still need to find out if there's like an office. Maybe they've got documents.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is the bomb that we have is is it a timer, or is there a remote detonator?
It's a remote detonator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your little baggie comes with the detonation device along with the bomb.
In this sort of like warehouse area where all the like building materials are there like forklift bots, or were these moved by like humans using tools.
Yeah, these were moved by as you look around, you see sort of parked in a small sort of group in the corner. You see what would be these automatic forklifts and stuff with these very sort of like sleek designs and like the Tomaton logo. It's plastered onto the back. They're powered off right now.
Do you think we can get these online and have the bots move it for us?
Oh, sure enough.
Sin, when you mentioned having the bots do it, he looks pissed off at these bots being activated. Really?
It'll take you too long to move all of it.
Yeah, but what if these things flip out on us or something?
We don't have to be here for it. We can have them do that while we go up look for the office.
All right.
If anyone stops us, and I hold up the remote detonator,
Okay.
we'll just tell them we already planted the bomb in the building.
Real quick, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
They had mentioned that they're being shuttled in from an off-planet space station.
Yeah.
In Rhett's experience, is that the kind of station that is used by multiple people? Is it a corporate station? Like,
It's a corporate station. It's like a little, like, not quite a corporate like hotel, but it provides a combination. Think kind of like an oil rig. So
Okay.
it's this like off-world. It's got like the things that you need, but it's got a set of like workers that work for a company, and it's owned by the company kind of thing. And they get shuttled back and forth to this office building on the planet.
I know she says she wanted this place gone, but it's gonna get gone. What if we set that there in the hub?
How are we going to get up there?
We got a ship. Plus,
But they would have to let us stop.
Shift change is gonna happen. We don't have to go with the shuttle when it goes back.
I don't know.
Take out this one building. They'll just rebuild it in a week.
He has a point.
We take out their hub. That's logistics. That's a lot of bodies that are not moving product.
Basically,
A lot
we
of money.
would be destroying the building still, just we would be securing that they won't be able to come back and build another one.
Like I said, we're burning it all down. It's burning one way or the other.
All right. Well, at least let's find the office and get some data because we'll have a few hours anyway before the shuttle comes.
I don't know about that, but we will have a little bit of time. Because a fire of this magnitude, you're going to be able to see from space.
Well, then let's move.
Okie dokie. It doesn't take long to find the office. At least like this place is adequately signed. So it's not long. You'll see signs for like landing pad this way, entrance this way, restrooms this way, and then office. And it's up some stairs basically. You guys ascend up to the office, I'm assuming, once you know where it is. And you find yourselves stood in front of a door, a very sort of regular wooden door. Nothing fancy, but it has the office label in front of it. Is there anything you want to do before you go in? Or is there a particular entrance that you want to make?
Sin, could you pick
Sin
a
is
lock?
already running. By the time when you guys stop and you say, "Hey, Sin," you just see Sin just do a drop kick right next to you guys and slam his feet into the door and knock it down.
Okay, roll muscle for me, please.
That's a 12 because I got a double 5.
Oh, with a 12, your boot sort of like snaps this door, like dents it like that completely in half, and it just like falls completely off the hinges with the wooden crunch. And in the office, again, like weirdly simple wooden desk. There is a chair and some like monitor screens around you. And in this sort of like this light, this office light, which is kind of like, again, this sort of like dim yellow incandescent things, apart from the screen monitors, which glow blue. Um, Sat in what would be the office chair is what's very clearly like a automaton that is just like sitting and like it doesn't have like a facial expression face. It's just like a blank sort of like head shape thing, and it's just kind of like sitting and like typing away at this like sort of flat keyboard looking between the two screens, and it hasn't really registered that the door has been broken in. It's just sort of like working away. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to make an observation check, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
If this is just a worker bot, yeah, sure, it can probably be dangerous, but we can probably do what we need to do without
Yeah.
touching it. 8 flat.
8 flat, yeah. With an 8 flat, you can tell that this is like a corpo drone that is sort of bought to do menial admin tasks, basically. Things like just logging what comes in, what comes out. It's as far as you're aware, it doesn't come equipped with anything that you could consider dangerous. So it doesn't have things like guns or, batons. Um, the kind of closer to that you come in and you look, you see that this bot, while it doesn't have like humanoid legs, it's the lower half is kind of like those restaurant bots where it's just kind of like a cylinder and then little wheels on the bottom, kind of thing. So you also don't get the sense that this thing can move very fast either because of its little wheels. And it's just typing away. And then after a moment, it kind of stops and then kind of like looks between the two monitors and it just goes, "Do you have an appointment?
Yeah.
What is the name?"
Red Star.
And it kind of like starts typing away. "There is no red start in our systems.
You sure?
Would you like me to book you in for an appointment?"
What Lourdes is gonna walk up.
Mm-hmm.
Does it do her same thing as like she just starts walking to the desk?
No, it's just it asks this question and it's waiting.
Can I see what's on its screens?
Yeah. Looking at the screens, you see on one monitor, you see like the logs that it's been working on, just loads of like just text scrolling up really, really rapidly and the numbers being sort of like filled in. On the other screen, you see what appears to be a kind of like a boarding sort of like situation, but it's listing like the incoming shuttles that are due to arrive and like who's going to be like what named workers are going to be on this incoming shuttle. Occasionally you see that like um the screen changes to like security footage, like the gridded security footage, one of which is showing like the flaming burning fuel line, and there is like a little like red alarm in that particular corner that just says like master warning, basically. But this automaton doesn't seem to have done anything about it or even notice it.
Because it's not built for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it possible for us to tamper with these logs?
With the logs, you would have to find. You could either like speak to the automaton and see if you could somehow trick it into doing that, or you would kind of have to sort of physically take over and do the typing.
Okay, but it could be typed.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, set me in for a 12:30 a.m.
And starts
Just
typing
kind
away.
of this in like, go on, go ahead, go for it.
Sin, as they're typing away, Sin will pretty much unceremoniously like take a paperweight off of the table and just slam it into the android's head.
Okie dokie. Make your muscle roll, please.
Okay. Oof. Actually, that's pretty bad. I got a 5. Can I use some heart to re-roll a 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, that's much better. That is a 9.
Yeah, with a 9, you successfully managed to like slam this paperweight down on this automaton's head, making this really big dent in their like facade. You see it kind of like seize up a little bit, little like sort of sparks flying out, and then it's just like critical malfunctions detected. Please consult the administrator for further instruction, and then it just powers down. It goes into full shutdown mode. And now you have access to the lack of a better term computer.
Is would I be able to go on and see if is this the main information hub for this development, or is this just a like is this just like a data entry bot that's here to maybe do some secretary work as well?
Yeah, that's basically the vibe you get from like looking at what it was working on. It seems to be this kind of like bot that does admin, secretary stuff, booking, logging, items and stuff. Lots of jobs into one, which is why they bought the automaton to do it in the first place, because it's cheaper than hiring people who are experts to do that.
Can I use this to activate the warehouse bots to start moving supplies outside?
Yeah, it'll come up with a little thing that's just like, please validate your credentials before you're able to do anything with the warehouse bots.
Can I use my badge? The security guard's badge?
Yes, you can.
Because if there's a safety thing, they should have a security override.
Yeah, well, it's basically like your little badge has like a login number on it, basically, and you're able to just punch that into
Just
like
print it on the back,
the
yeah.
thing, and it lets you in like security cleared. Welcome, Roger. And you basically have access to this. You basically get access to like this big ass database and the control for the little warehouse robots.
Right, I'm gonna type in some commands, have them move everything outside past the launch pad, focusing on the higher value stuff first. So start with the copper, start with the aluminum and the steel, all that.
Yeah, and the bots do that without really any trouble. They're like their command just as usual. They go and they like grab the stuff that you've requested, and they bring it outside past like the flaming tubes and past the incapacitated security guards out to sort of like nicer, clearer field. Rhett and Wally, what are you Sinan, what are you up to?
Sin is kind of like glaring at the monitor because robots. But he's also just keeping out anything out for like whoever this admin could be if the admin is here, but just making sure nothing pops off. He's still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhett, after Lords is done controlling and commanding the warehouse spots, Rhett's going to start messing around with things like, let me put no employees on the next shuttle out, and the next shuttle, and the next shuttle. Let me create these failures in the system of people being where they're supposed to be, because people need to be in these places or the system doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if I may also get one of those shuttles to come down early, because it'd be nice to not be here all night.
You're able to put in a request for a shuttle to come down early, but there's no guarantee that there will. It's kind of just like request received. Mm-hmm.
The reason cited is illness in security guards.
Yeah, illness. Like try to like priority override.
Yeah,
assistance.
Illness in security guard and like critical system failure in launch pad area. Caution advised.
Yeah, you send that off. We'll leave that for now. Breweries. I cut you off at the very end, and I'm so sorry. Was there something that you were gonna?
I was gonna ask about like the next shuttle coming, but are the shuttles autonomous or are they piloted?
They're autonomous.
Okay, cool. So we don't have to put a gun in anyone's head.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to copy any sort of data, chat logs, schematics, anything like that, and copy them all onto like a thumb drive.
Yeah. Which you can do.
I look at Sin. It's like, oh, could you? And if this is okay with Wally, take off Sid's thumb, and there's a little USB thing in there.
Like, this is not the first time. Like, he's like, yeah, sure. Sticks his thumb in there.
Thumbs up, thumb gone.
Yeah.
I love that. A literal thumb drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you plug it in, and again with the credentials that you've taken from the guard, you're able to download logs of like what's come in and out, and like the shuttle schedules and the employees and everything like that, easily.
We'd have to go to the hub though if we wanted to. Gosh, what is that word? Wanted to get like greater corporate data. Okay.
Yeah. My plan, now that we're waiting for the shuttle, my plan was to take the shuttle up. Security is probably a lot better, and there's probably a lot more scanners and things up there. And we just hold the station hostage. This charge is big enough to punch a hole in a space station.
It surely is. That is a big job.
It's our last one.
Sin is gonna go over to the workstation and kind of see like if there are any security drones in that hallway towards the hub.
Not security drones, just regular cameras that kind of just sway side to side. Yeah, there are.
But he's looking for this. There's nothing he needs to punch up there.
Not really, I'd say.
I mean, when we get to the station, maybe, but not here. I think this building's pretty much empty, right?
Yeah, you get the vibe that it's empty.
Well, if the shuttle's coming down to the launch pad, so we should probably make our way there. I want to take the. Hey, Rhett.
Yeah.
Would you mind playing the part of the burn victim?
Oh, we're gonna do get help.
How convincing do you need it to be?
We don't even have to do
Not
the bird
that
jacking.
convincing.
I
Okay,
think,
then yeah.
why don't we just do get help?
Get help is fun. That's what we're doing.
Don't worry. And then he like looks at your nose, Rhett, and now you realize why Rhett's nose looks that way. It's like, just hold real still.
Oh no, not that one!
No, that's why we're using the bird jacket. We don't need.
Do you punch Rhett?
No, he doesn't punch Rhett. No.
Okay.
As soon as he sees the bird jacket, he stops.
Getting a little bit, yeah.
Lineup.
Yeah, it takes a little bit, but eventually you do see words pop on the screen that say like request approved, and a shuttle will be on its way to come and rescue the border security guards. So I'd say you'd have about like an hour to kill before the shuttle gets here.
It's a good thing I sent word to Guppy, because we need to move some valuable material elsewhere.
Yeah. Guppy brings the ship over. Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot. I don't know if we have like any means of communicating, but can we have Guppy reach out to Theo Jesse and have him tell, like, get as many people as you can and start as many people who can haul stuff.
Haulers, cutters, the works.
Yeah. There's a field that, just like take whatever you can fucking grab. Because I don't know. I mean, if we're taking the shuttle up, we can have the hauler bots load up the catfish while we're up there doing our thing, and then have the catfish meet us up there afterward.
True.
I think what Sin is going to do is, since we have an hour, right?
Yeah.
Sin is going to run downstairs and grab those two security guard out uniforms, and gives one to Rhett and puts one on himself. So because they're expecting two security guards to be waiting out there.
Yeah, you can do that. You get your uniforms. Does it fit correctly?
Not on Sin, no.
It doesn't fit either of them correctly, because Rhett is smaller than the security guard and Sin is bigger than the security guard.
Yeah, it's tight for Sin and kind of like
senior. It looks like a child in a grown man's uniform.
Yes.
Like these guys are gonna see this gigantic man holding a swaddled Rhett.
Like a newborn.
And like the buttons are like holding on for like dear life as well. Awesome. Yeah, and like I can say that like you can send a message to Guppy and Guppy will find some way to relay your message to Theo Jesse. And if any of you happen to like look out the window, you will see small like fires being lit on each sort of like ranch that's like in the nearby area, just one by one. And yeah, like soon
That does make extra sense, because you need to put out a fire in the desert real quick. Plausible deniability, baby.
The smoke is a little bit different from the fuel fire, but irrelevant. Eventually, yeah, go.
Oh no, I was just saying I wanted to add in, since these are being dispatched autonomously, I'm assuming no one is actually typically in the loading area. So I want to put in the log that there is a company doctor that is going aboard the shuttle to go pick up these injured guards to account for me being here.
Smart.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I set to load a certain some number of the supplies, I'll just type out a protocol to send that to the loader bots when Guppy gets here.
Yeah. And it's eventually you get like a notification on the system that says like shuttle approaching, and you see this kind of like the glint in like the night sky as it gets brighter and larger, and the ship appears and makes its way down to the platform. And it's a very sort of like bulky van looking type shuttle with like just big chunky engines right at the back and little thrusters all around, so that you can come and do a gentle landing near the launch pad. How do you guys sort of like come out from the building and approach the shuttle?
I mean, if I'm swaddled in the burn jacket, I'm just hollering and howling like I'm like I've been burned.
I think he has like the security hat on his head, but it's like he's covering his face as he's like kind of like holding Rhett.
I don't have that hat on anymore.
Yeah. I mean, since the jacket, it would probably be a shuttle go. You probably just like put on the shirt he has, so you probably put the shirt on the guy had underneath and wrap the jacket around your heavily chromed arm.
Yeah.
And pretend that's injured as well.
Good idea.
And I'm helping the two of you out, because if I were this big company, I would definitely have cameras on the shuttles to make sure nobody's fucking around in there when they're supposed to be getting ready for work.
Mm-hmm.
Smart, yeah. Makes
no
sense.
dance parties in the shuttle. Are you crazy? No shamrock shuffles.
And yeah, the door sort of like slides open, and you see, similar to the one that you saw in the office, you see another automaton that works as like the pilot for the shuttle bus, but this one is like built into the vehicle itself, a little bit like Guppy, but it doesn't have the freedom to sort of like pop off and like go somewhere else, sort of attached to the pilot seat. And it doesn't even really acknowledge you as like the door sort of slides open. It just goes like, destination company hub, please board within a minute, 60 seconds, or else you will be left behind.
Sin gets on with Rhett and is like sits down, like still swaddling Rhett like this. But Rhett, you can feel like him slowly gripping you because he's glaring at that automaton that's driving the thing, and he's just glaring daggers at the back of its head. You just feel yourself getting slowly, tightly squeezed.
Makes a very sad kind of wheezing sound, because like that's my ribs. I need those.
I look at Wally. It's just like, we're almost just hang in there. Sorry, look at Sin. Hang in there.
Just glaring at that robot.
That I'll start to whisper, just like that. Maybe in like a my mind immediately went to like a thieves camp, but like there's definitely code phrases or like, you know, some sort of like pidgin / like Creole language that like the poor people speak in this part of the galaxy.
Yeah.
So she'll switch to that and just go, that satellite we're gonna drop out the sky must have cost millions of credits. This is gonna bankrupt this company.
All right.
That's the only way they'll ever respond. That's the only way to make them hurt, is the pockets.
You saw how cheap that thing was down there. They put that up in days.
Way too fast. Honestly, they're working faster than they did back when I got kicked off my own planet. Usually it was just weeks. Now it's just a turnaround and one goes down and another comes up.
We Got the
Streamline the
power
process.
now. Yeah. They own the factories. They own the transports. They own all of it now.
People don't even get a chance to fight back.
Yeah. The shuttle doors sort of whoosh closed, and the automaton speaks its little destination once again as the shuttle ship sort of hums back into life. Makes a weird thudding sound as it sort of lifts itself up into the air and then sort of turns and starts to fly back out into outer space. Rhett, you get a little ping from Guppy that's just saying that like he's starting to move the ship over to the landing pad as requested, to get all the stuff loaded in.
It's a good work, and when you're done, come meet us up here. We'll probably need to be extracted.
Yeah, and his message received. You fly out into space, and you do see the glint of like the satellite in the distance. Just looks like this like weird like spiky amalgam of metal, and then as you like approach closer, the structures all sort of seem to make a bit more sense. You've got this kind of like core sort of like tube-like structure with these rings that kind of spin around them in different speeds, all with like little lights in between them. Basically, different departments, different areas of this satellite hub. As your ship approaches the shuttle, what's the plan?
If I was able to download those like schematics and the data from down below, like pull it up just like on like a janky looking tablet that Sid's thumb is plugged into. They're probably not going to say like life support systems here, engine core here, whatever. But anything on the diagram that's listed as like restricted access, like restricted only to like engineering, I want to find a spot like that. And whichever one's the biggest, I say we go there and plant the bomb there. Because that's probably going to be where the critical systems are.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. As you approach the satellite, you do hear like the communication sort of like whiz to life, and you hear a voice go, "Is that you, Johnny? Coming back early? What have you ruined this time? If you're looking for clearance at this place, you better have a good reason why."
This is Dr. Lopez from the C-suite. Yeah, I came down to pick up Johnny and Roger. There was an issue with the fuel line, and they've both been burned.
Fucking idiots is what you hear across the comms. Right, well, just don't cause any more trouble, all right? You're cleared for landing pad 3B. And then the comms just like goes up again. The ship, the shuttle starts to, you feel it start to slow down as it approaches this like ever growing satellite. And eventually you do see like the structure of the hub, this nice sort of like square type of framing, a couple of the other sort of shuttles parked nearby, but you've got your nice little reserved space as the shuttle sort of comes in and stops. And the automaton just reads, "Destination arrived." So
Let's go.
When the door opens, Sin will tip the hat low and look around and walk off.
Mm-hmm.
I think like following in the direction where you said like that that largest restricted room was at.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of like maintain that whole, trying to do their best to maintain the whole like, yep, I'm injured, carrying my injured coworker, don't mind us.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to roll savvy for that?
Sure.
Is helping a thing?
Yeah.
If you want to help, then I can say that you can roll with the upper hand. D&D style.
Okay.
I'm still carrying on like I'm burned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's convincing.
That is a 10.
Okay. Yeah, with a 10, you play the part. You convince everyone that you are injured and hobbling around. Some people kind of like, as they walk by you, they kind of scoff like, there's those bozos again getting injured at the mining outpost again. But you don't really draw that much attention to yourself as you walk along. So, where are you planting your little bomb?
I think we're looking for like, I think if there's like a main server room or something.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good idea?
Could be.
Yeah. I think any data would probably be backed up somewhere. I'll say. I was thinking something like the propulsion, like whatever's keeping this thing in the atmosphere.
In that case, can I help us suss out where that might be on a station this size?
Yeah, I'd
You
say
would know better than I would. Yeah.
Yeah. Make a savvy check, I guess.
Could it be with the upper hand since we have the maps from? It's more like a case of deduction than.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Roll with upper hand.
That is a total of 12.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, with a total of 12, you're able to easily suss out what was it you were going, the propulsion systems, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you see you're it doesn't take long for you to find like signs that lead you towards like the engine room and like secure sort of personnel only. Checking the time. You make your way over, and there are this time like there's kind of like a long hallway, and then like a sort of like heavy looking door, and a small like sort of very very small desk, and one person sort of like sat at this desk, an actual person, not an automaton, with the sort of corporal uniform, shirt buttoned up and tie and stuff, and like a tie pin and everything, and they're just like sat making notes at this little desk just in front of the room that says engines on it. What's the plan?
I set Red down.
Ooh. Are there bodies in this room?
No. I mean,
Okay.
there's you guys and this person.
Before we like go all the way like down the hall towards them, I want to look at the other two and say, I can just, and I like pull out my drain pistols or.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm shooting someone and they're surprised, do I get the upper hand?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think this one is gonna have to be definitely with savvy, since I'm just very quickly just like I'm doing the ret thing of shooting from the hip and
from the hip. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 9. Okay, so that is that's a 10 for it's a 10 for 3 damage.
Yeah. This time how does it look like when you hip fire your little injection gun towards this person who's just working away?
It's a little like awkward. Like Lourdes just starts like moving a little too fast, but it's too stiff at the same time. So just like an awkward, like perfectly straight legged speed walk, and just very like panicked. She's like, used to, like she's not a good shot, so she's used to like taking her time and really lining it up. You know, the sort of bull rush approach is for the other two.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
Yeah.
this person doesn't even really get a chance to like realize what's happened when they suddenly feel like the prick in their shoulder. They kind of like stop and look at it like, huh. Look up at like where it had come from, sees you guys, and kind of like goes to like get up and like try and stop you. But as soon as they like put all their weight on like their foot, they just kind of like slump down to the floor. Once again, not out cold, but like incapacitated and unable to really move. So you now have access to the engine room.
All right, let's put the bomb in here and get going.
Yeah. I with Red's help, I want to position it in like the most difficult possible place for it to like for someone to just like reach in and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Like ideally, like hide it somewhere within an important system where they would risk doing more harm than good to even just look at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I could say that like you probably hid it in like a sort of under a panel amongst like some wires and stuff, so that it's really kind of awkward to get to.
Skinny arm being one of the few things that gave us the advantage there.
They get you to put the bomb away in that little corner.
Can you call Guppy?
Already did.
All right. Now the real question is, do we warn them?
Hell yeah, we warn them. What are we, maniacs?
My question is, how do you warn them?
If we the loading docks should have like a PA system, right? Because
they sure should. And we gotta get back there anyway.
Yeah, we'll do it there on our way out. So.
Yeah, you guys make your way back to the loading dock. Is it Guppy that's gonna come get you here, or was he gonna come back get you back down at the planet?
I think Guppy was gonna be coming to get us
here.
Yes, here. We are out of here.
We
should not be. We should after this goes off. We should not be in this system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not long, but I keep saying that. But you do eventually get like a little ping from Guppy that says that he's on his way. As you sort of make your way back to the loading docks, and some of the shuttles are still waiting. Soon as sort of Guppy's drives the ship right into this bay, even as some folks around are sort of like noticing this like non-shuttle looking ship just kind of like zooming in at like a great speed and like doing like a handbrake turn at that like the loading bay so that you guys can like just jump in as soon as you can.
Awkward little shuffle. And I think like once we reach the loading bay, because Rhett trusts that Guppy's gonna bring Catfish round and we're gonna be gone, pistol fires like 2-3 shots into the ceiling, like one of the light systems. All right, this is not a drill. Evacuate this station. It's going to explode, and if you are still on it, you will be going with
it. And immediately there's like commotion around you, people like murmuring and some even like screaming, jumping onto shuttles, the corporate shuttles. That does not matter to you. You guys are on your little ship. Guppy shuts the door behind you and then just takes off into space. and minutes later you can feel the shockwave first of like the station exploding. I'm assuming when you've gotten far away, you've pressed the button to detonate it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think like as we're like I'm talking like with Ren Sid, and we're like guesstimating the population of the station. We're like doing the quick math, and as soon as like we jump on the catfish, my eyes are staring at the hub. It was like, okay, one, this is the fourth shuttle, fifth, sixth,
I counted
seven,
12 ports for life vessels. Once all 12 have launched, that is it, and that is all that it can be.
and then
Give 15 minutes for any emergency vessels.
yeah.
Life out and escape pods.
Yeah, and you do watch the shuttle ships just scatter all in different directions. You press the button, and it lets off this firework of an explosion. The shockwave kind of hits your ship and jiggles it a little bit before you actually hear the explosion hit you guys. You're away. You're hitting like hyperspace before the explosion really sort of starts to like peter out, and everyone has zoomed away. What are your characters reflecting on as they exit this scene?
I think Sin is thinking about his friends and family back at his home world that is now gone. And he's glad that at least he was able to help these people get a fighting chance instead of just letting them get, pushed out of their homes.
Hmm. Rhett?
I think Rhett, as soon as like vessel, the job is done, things explode, all that jazz, Rhett just kind of slumps into the pilot seat and is just staring out into what is soon to be that just void mess of hyperspace. And all they can think about is the first time taking a job like this, trying to punch back at it. Started as Remington, it changed names to freaking Gamma Radia 12 something, 8 million name changes, trying to save face, fix its image. See, we're luxurious now, we're automata. And that very first one sticks out in his mind, trying to. It was not this clean. It was not. It was chaotic. It was messy. It was loud. And even now, he can't.
Mm-hmm.
He can't walk away from this one feeling clean.
Love that. And Reese?
Reese thinking is Lotus thinking back to a job we had years and years and years ago. Probably like the first year we started working together. And it was strange in that this wasn't our first job together. It was probably like the fifth or sixth, but something about that day, we had a plan, we had everything timed out, and we hit every milestone on time. Everything was completely clean. The cops were looking to solve it for years. They never caught on anything. It just went perfectly. And it's just like, and part was like, oh, man, really missing this life. But after, but sort of just like, she goes to the bathroom to like splash some water face, and then looks at her crow's feet, her lines, and then starts looking at her scars, and then comes back out and sees the other two a lot older, a lot more banged up than then. and then starts remembering a lot of the bad ones.
Mhm.
And just like sort of like puts a hand on Sin's shoulder, puts a hand over on Red's shoulder, and say, "This is really fucking it."
Can't keep doing this.
Keep it on a high note.
Yeah.
We made money and we did actual good for once.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Amazing.
I imagine y'all want me to drop you off at the hacienda and all. So get
Well,
comfy.
a lot of scanners pinged this ship, so you're gonna need a place to hide out.
You think that they can catch me? I am insulted.
You know what? I'm not even doing the bit or the artifice. You're staying at the house with us for a while. We're gonna
Yeah,
catch
we're
up.
a couple days.
Guppy pipes up like that would be a good idea for all of us, I think.
Maybe a few
outvoted.
weeks. However long until it blows over and then I'm gone.
We'll see.
Yeah, good. We don't want you sticking around too long anyway.
Good. Think I want to share a room anywhere near your smelly working out ass? Nah.
Amazing. And with that, we are finished with Orbital Blues. One last job. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you to my players for being so wonderful. Thank you for Tech. Thank you for everyone for being here to support Apoc Presents Harlem Renaissance Forever. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your wonderful donations to the Lavender Rights Project. Be sure to spread the word. And a big shout out once again to our sponsors, Transplanar RPG, Fearless Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. We're going to go around the table one final time where you're going to tell us where you can find yourselves and who you are and what projects you're working on. So I'll start with Wally.
Yeah, my name is Wally. I'm a non-binary slime best friend on the internet. You can find me on the social medias at WALE132, like the cute little Disney robot. You find out the things that I'm in, things that I do, things I love, talking about all that stuff. You can also find me over the One Shot Network with R&D with Kappa and Wally. It's a podcast I do. We have a lot of episodes out, so come check those out. We got a nice little backlog before the next season starts rolling through. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Lex, you're up next on my screen.
All right. Hi, I'm Lex. She, they pronouns. Tonight I played Rhett, they, he pronouns, and I do a lot of actual play and illustration and general gaming. And right now, the Zine Month project that I'm helping out on as an illustrator has backed. So if y'all want to check out Fantasy in Your Backyard, you like world building, please give it a look, give it a like, help us get the word out about it.
Hell yeah, awesome.
Oh, wait, but I do also want to shout out On Call. That is another game that's coming prior to Zine Month that looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And Ruiz?
Yeah, I'm Ruiz. I've been Lourdes. You can find me on social media, most places at Bohio Blues, BOHIO, and then the word blues spelled normal style. I'll be here next weekend, GMing a game of Cairn. A couple 20-something Harlemites trying to get uptown for a cool party, but they gotta survive the fairy madness that is Central Park.
That's so fair. And finally, me, I was your storyteller today. My name is Keith. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky at Keith the Chew, and I'm normally a character artist as well. So if you have any APs coming up where you need your characters illustrated, get in touch. My prices are pretty reasonable. And I will also be, you'll also see my face again on Saturday, I think, for another Black Harlem Renaissance one shot. I'll be a player in that one. So keep your eye out for that one. But that's it for me and my lovely players. Thank you again, everyone. And we'll see you on the next one. All right. Cool. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apoc Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. Apoc U wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplanar RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplanar RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the Apoc U Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your character's memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tender Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today.